the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
In a world where a single touch can threaten the surfaces of your home, there's Microban 24. Just one spray fights bacteria all day.
Bacteria incoming. Shields up, defenders.
When used as directed, Microban 24 sanitizing spray forms a defensive shield that keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch.
Threat eliminated.
Microban 24. Don't just sanitize it, Microban it. Now spraying in a store near you. KHOW News Time, 10:03.
The process for hiring a new Douglas County school superintendent continued yesterday. The two finalists were interviewed by the school board. Aaron Kane and Danny Windsor were asked the same set of questions, including the role of the superintendent.
The superintendent's job is to execute the will of the board and communicate that vision down to the system and support the system in the execution of that vision.
Windsor explained what his approach would be.
When we look at the connections between our families, our students, and our teachers, is really looking at what the ultimate priority of our work is, and that's our students to be successful, and that's through investing in our teachers and investing in our families.
Next week, the candidates will participate in a panel interview and public forum. A fire in a maintenance area at Ball Arena last night forced postponement of a Toby Mac concert. The arena was evacuated and there were no injuries reported. The concert has been rescheduled for next Wednesday, March 9th. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Churches.
Traffic on the metro area highways actually moving along really well right now. No slow traffic on I-25 or really across I-70 in a significant way. No accidents. Now off the highway there is a closure on Alameda east of Federal, a rollover accident there right around Elliott Street and Dale Court. So watch for that. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. 68 today, but then rain moves in tonight, switching to light snow through early Saturday morning with little to no accumulation. A high tomorrow of 40, and then more snow Saturday night into Monday morning, a high of 30 on Sunday. 2 to 5 inches of snow possible. Currently it's 55. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Stop by Churches for the hot-flying flavor combination of our Texas tenders and shrimp meal today. It's butterfly shrimp alongside made-from-scratch Texas tenders, served spicy or original for $6. Churches, welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Hey, Mario Courtney Lopez here. We know life's moments are definitely better together.
And Smart Mouth mouthwash gives us the confidence to always be ready to make the most of these moments.
Whether in studio, on the red carpet, or around the house, having the confidence to get close is amazing.
Our lives are better together with Smart Mouth. Just 2 rinses a day means fresh breath for 24 hours.
Find it at your favorite drug, grocery, or supercenter store, or save 20% at smartmouth.com/radio.
Pain is a big detractor from life. You don't feel like doing anything. I was in pain, I know. That is, until I went to Colorado Pain Care Sport and Spine. You can visit at 2 convenient locations and even get same-day appointments. In Denver on South Colorado Boulevard, or their newest location in Lakewood near Alameda and Union. Both giving you pain treatment and physical therapy under one roof. Get a free stainless steel water bottle at your first appointment when you mention me, Tom Martino. 303-GOT-PAIN.
For your back, neck, and joint pain, visit SpineOne.com for a same-day appointment right now. That's SpineOne.com.
Afternoons 2 to 4. It's Leland Conway.
This is producer Ryan Schuling, Super Shoe. From the topical to the irreverent, the serious to the sublime, where conservative and libertarian minds meet. Join us weekdays at 2 p.m. right here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. RealCBDThatWorks.com is a CBD product. Well, I shouldn't say a CBD product. There's a line of products out of Panacea Life in Golden, one of the original CBD companies, wonderful company, pure products, almost organic. It might be organic, by the way. I don't know, but they have these scientific labs up in Golden, and they produce a wonderful CBD product for pain, inflammation, all kinds of stuff like cosmetic lines. Anti-inflammatory properties of CBD are incredible. They also have antiviral properties. Did you know that? Actually have been shown in a laboratory to inhibit viral cells from getting into human cells. So anyway, welcome to the show. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Use Tom in the promo code, get 30% off. Now, welcome to the show where we talk about everything. I want today, though, on Car Day, we talk about cars mainly. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And Chris wanted to talk about selling classic cars. Dara says she has a follower. Doc, are you ready with a follow-up with Dara?
That's the one that we got the heater for.
Okay. Oh, I want to do that. I want to talk to Chris first since it's Car Day. Hey, Chris, what about classic cars? What's going on, Chris?
Yes, I've got a few classic vehicles that I'm trying to figure out how to sell without a current emission slip, if that makes sense.
Well, of course you can.
Need a little bit of work.
Yeah, you can sell those. You can sell them all day long as towaways.
Okay. And does that mean that they can't come back on you?
Right. That means they can't come. That's right. That's right. They can't come back on you on anything. You're selling it as a tow-away project car.
Okay. And do you just put that on a bill of sale and then have it notarized?
Yes.
Or
well, I don't think they have to even be notarized. Hold on a second. Rodney is with JFR Cars. They're a dealer. Rodney's been in the car business. Rodney, do you know about towaways? Do you guys ever sell towaways, or do you just wholesale them? And get real close. Pull the mic up to you. Yeah, you can get comfortable there. Go ahead, Rodney.
Yeah, we don't sell towaways, but we do sell classics. There is a difference.
So, okay, what do you do with a classic that won't pass emissions? They're not required to, right?
They're not required to.
Now, what year does it go back? What year is it not required?
I believe.
Or when is the requirement?
20 years, if my memory serves me correct.
What's that?
About 20 years.
Like Chris,
30.
There's a certain vintage of car. You don't have to get it anyway. What kind of car are we talking about?
Well, for instance, like on the state website, they say 1975 and older does not need any emissions.
Okay, well, there you go.
But these fall in between, they have a stipulation in there for 32 years and older, which would be a 1990. So between 1975 and 1990, you can apply for a collector's plate, but you still have to have an emissions. And I am trying, most of the vehicles I have fall into that year range.
And you do want a collector's plate?
No, I am trying to sell them as a collector's vehicle. Most of them just need a little bit of work.
Okay, okay. You can't sell it as a collector's vehicle unless it registers as a collector. What you have to do is sell it as a potential or project, a collector's project. That's what you sell it as, and then tow it away. That's the safe way to do it.
So you put it in there as a collector's project potential, and then
there's no official title, collector's project. What I'm saying is, if you want to get the word collector in there, you'll be in trouble if you say a collector's car, because they're going to assume it falls under the state designation, and they can nail you on it, is what I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying they would, but they possibly could, because there is a definition, and that definition is a certain year, and it passes emissions, and it's registered as such. And you have a potential collector's car or a project car for collectors, and something like that, tow away, get a deal, fix it up, that let them worry about all the rest.
Okay.
Give me an idea what you have, by the way.
Couple of them for early 1980s Chevy square body pickups. They're pretty highly collectible. These are straight, clean, rust-free, dent-free Colorado pickups. So,
are they cool, guys?
Yeah, but I think anybody who's going to be looking at that doesn't need to see collector, doesn't need to see any of that terminology. Just list it as what it is and tell people.
Just a classic towaway.
I wouldn't even call it a towaway. Just tell them. And
well, you got to call it a towaway if you give them a bill of sale. If you don't, you can't. It's got to pass emissions otherwise, right or not?
I wouldn't advertise it as a towaway.
Wait. If it's a certain age, it doesn't have to pass emissions, though.
No, he's in the emission window.
Oh, he is?
But just anybody who's looking at those is well aware of what they are.
Okay.
But they can come back to him and say, you sold me a car that won't pass emissions. I would be very clear that it's a towaway.
Mm-hmm.
We've had cases on the show where people sold a wreck and had to take it back because it wouldn't pass emissions.
Yes, I'm a long-time listener, and I remember some of those, so that's why I'm trying to avoid all this. So
You'll avoid it if you're being smart about it. What other than the pickups? What do you have?
I've got some Jeeps. I've got a couple of older cars. I've got a couple of other things.
What Jeeps? How old Jeeps?
I've got anything from a 85 clearing back to a 48, all open top CJ series.
Now those could be really cool. Some of the old.
I've got some really classic ones of those too. Pretty clean, rust-free Colorado Jeeps. Also, I've been collecting for 20+ years and trying to get rid of my collection so I can.
Where do you keep all this stuff? Like on acreage or what?
Yeah, a couple different locations.
Your neighbors must love you.
Well, actually, they do because I work with them a lot and help them out a lot, and you know what goes around comes around. So
that's pretty darn cool. Those old Jeeps. Do you have any Willys, or do they go back that far? What are the manufacturers?
I've got quite a few of the Willys, the flat fender Willys.
Wow.
Through clearing up through, I guess, in the 60s, technically were Willys. But yes.
You know, I always envisioned doing a project. Of course, I don't have time. I used to do aircraft projects. They were cool, classics. But here's the deal. On cars, you know, I have this vision of doing something with my son. My son doesn't care. These kids now, they want Teslas and like high-tech crap with autopilots. They don't. I'm serious, man. They don't want the old cars.
Well, God, the new ones are much safer.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so Chris, by the way, in case anyone calls, leave your information with Suze. Seriously. I'm sure there are people who want old Willys, Jeeps, or pickups and all that. Leave your information, man.
You know, everything I'm reading on the state's website, I mean, it's words like sellers who reside in certain areas cannot. I don't see any exemption to this.
Totally
cannot sell a vehicle without a current emissions inspection.
You can with a towaway. Let's ask.
But can they turn around and register a towaway?
No. But they have to fix the towaway to get past.
So it's almost like a salvage title?
No, it's worse than that. A towaway means parts, basically, but there's nothing wrong. It doesn't have it. It's not on the title. It doesn't say towaway on the title. It doesn't say salvage on the title, unless it did previously. All the towaway is that you are saying this will not pass emissions. I'm not saying it does pass emissions. I'm not saying it will ever pass emissions. Then you take the car and you buy a bundle of parts. You can fix up that car and get it to pass emissions or get an exemption. And that is up to you when you buy a towaway. The towaway is just a protection to the seller. And what it says is, you didn't buy a car, Mark. You didn't buy a car. You bought a towaway. And a towaway is a pile of parts. But did they do away with the towaway designation? I don't think so. Let's see.
Just everything I read says, really, it's the seller's responsibility, period, end of story. This is a consumer protection for the buyer.
Okay. Suze, Norris is probably listening.
Oh, he'll know.
That's what I mean. SOS Inspections, usedcarcheckout.com. Suze, just in case he's not listening, would you call Norris? Ask him to come on. 303-713-8255.
Yeah, taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. Don't send more money to the IRS than you have to. I'm Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you.
I mean, there must be a way to sell something, even if you're, if you're not going to register it.
For more information,
well, dealerships do that with wholesale all the time. They sell them so.
Yeah, or auctions.
Or call 720-488-8604.
I was just saying I wouldn't advertise it in the paper as a towaway.
I wouldn't
get anybody to look at it, but part of the sale is definitely going to be it's a towaway.
Genesis Total Exteriors. Genesis Total Exteriors is a complete home improvement company. So they do insides as well, basements, kitchens, baths, pop-tops. They call themselves exteriors because they do roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, decks, fences, painting, and even fixing your outbuildings. If you have storm damage, because they're a full-service home improvement company, they can take care of it all. On one invoice, they can work with your public adjuster or with your insurance company. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, someone I've known for many, many years, someone I've learned to trust in the home improvement industry, 303-679-8509. And someone else I trust implicitly, the Art of Granite. The name may tell you it's just granite, but it should say the art of countertops. Mitch Floria at the Art of Granite will do any countertop, natural stone or man-made. He'll sell you the materials at wholesale. He'll tear out and haul away all of the junk free and do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen with him. And here's the deal. You can get a price on the phone because he's really proud of how he does it. theartofgranite.com, someone I've known for many years, and we get great reviews. 303-386-5919, 386-5919.
Come celebrate the grand opening of Blackhawk's newest and most luxurious resort, the Monarch Casino Resort Spa, March 2nd through the 5th. Enjoy
And then the person changes their mind and says, hey, it won't fucking pass emissions.
We've had that on the show, but I'm looking for it here.
Typically, somebody who's going to pay $8,000 for an '81 Chevy pickup though isn't overly concerned.
No, of course not. It's going to be a project car they rebuild.
Which gives you the strength of a cash bond. And ideally, first they listen.
And I don't know why those square bodies are all of a sudden so crazy. Oh, no, they are though.
I think they're ugly.
Hey, did that dude call you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's coming back in town next week or something. He just wants to work out anything to where he doesn't pay. That's all he's interested in. You know? And that's what I try to explain to him. It's like, you're the one that doesn't have the proper insurance on your car. So why don't you take this?
I made it so clear to him it was crazy. I thought he was acting to me like he was going to go pay it.
Nah, he starts out the conversation. I was talking to my friend, the attorney. It's like we all have attorneys friends. Brothers, sisters, aunts, so stop. They're in custody with liability. It's no liability. You gotta have X-ray. My insurance is not going to pay.
You'll always be taken care of and get the best deals at the Sharpest Rides. I'm telling you, if you're looking to trade in, go to the Sharpest Rides, best customer service in town. Get more info at the Sharpest Rides.
We thought we were smart because we've had trouble with some of the dealers' Hyundais because they're so easy to steal.
Are they?
Yeah, you can steal a Hyundai in 2 minutes. The like 19s and 20s, you can almost do it with a screwdriver.
That's crazy.
Because there's no transporter in the keys. So we were parking them with clubs on them.
No, not 19s or 20s.
Yeah.
You mean like brand new ones?
Yeah. There's no transponder in the key. It's just an old style key.
I wonder how that works because all of ours are wireless.
Yeah, if you have a key.
Oh, okay.
So like
I see. If you didn't pay for the wireless,
yeah, the lower grades.
Yeah, I got you. See, basically, it's the old you hammer a screwdriver in it and turn it. That's kind of fucked up.
Well, we were parking them with clubs on them when we couldn't fit them inside. Now they're cutting the clubs off. Wow. So we come in, the car's down, and the club is there in 2 pieces.
What did they cut through that with? Just bolt cutters?
Battery-powered grinders.
I don't think it'd be a zip, but yeah.
Well, this guy's,
they got the tools of the trade.
But they're not doing anything with the cars other than using them to commit other crimes. Because they find every one of them.
They snagged Doc's Subaru got snatched.
Yeah. Well, you see the thing on the news this morning, the guy ran out, stopped a guy from cutting his cat off his car, and they shot at him.
Really? He was doing what?
Somebody was stealing a cat off a car, and the guy went out to confront him.
Up at iHeart.com/newsbreak and be entered to win $1,000.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Mostly cloudy skies for your Friday with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, but a pretty good breeze with rain arriving tonight, snow arriving by tomorrow morning. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kyle.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely not going to go out with a pad.
Your issues and works to resolve them with you. That's why Discover offers helpful U.S.-based representatives available 24/7. Discover.
Those things are about $1,000
minimum.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Dara called and said, I need a heater. I don't even have a heater. It was, we heard something that sounded genuine to us. You said, I just want a heater. And explain your situation, Dara.
Hi, Tom. Good day.
Hey man.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I was in an RV. We don't have a way to heat it. the cold temperature was so freaking bad that, I reached out to you because you help people, and she sure enough did step right up to the plate. It was great. My wife was very happy when she got home from work and wasn't scared to go through the night, and we've had it going,
You were using a gas burner, weren't you, Dara?
Yeah, a stove burner that I made to heat, not on a stove, but I've taken it out and adapted it and made it work as a raw flame. Yeah, but it was dangerous and wasn't very efficient. So this works really good, and we're not scared of the weather coming tonight.
Now, how did you get that heater? Let's talk about that.
How did I get the heater? You gave it to me. You bought it for me. Your listeners.
Deputy Doc went out, and Deputy Doc, did you meet him with that, or how did you arrange it?
Hi.
I met him at Walmart, and we bought it and gave him. Also, he needed some food, so we helped him with that as well.
And we did that out of our charity account. We were thankful we were able to help you, Dara. And you said you were gonna,
pay it forward.
Yeah, exactly. And so I hope things are going well with you now.
They are. I'm better. I'm not so, cold. I still have issues, and we're still working on some things, but we're very grateful, and it's very nice, and, it's great that you guys helped us. I don't know what we would have done if we wouldn't have done that. We're very grateful that you guys helped us.
But thank you for coming on and telling us about it. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. So, we're done with Chris, right? Or are we finding out from Norris? Yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to be calling Norris?
We wanted to ask Norris about towaways because I can't find it anywhere designated, but I know that people sell cars that won't pass emissions as towaways.
Okay, because Chris doesn't have a radio, so he needed to listen through the phone on all the information for his problem. So.
Wait, Chris is the one selling the car.
Yeah, he's in an emissions area, so he wanted to know about how about
we
going
already
selling
talked
them.
To him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we just wanted to clarify one thing with him, and that was the towaway designation. In other words, when you sell a car as is, in Colorado, it still means it has to pass emissions at the time of the sale. That's why dealers give you a 3-day window to get that done, and that's all a dealer has to do. With a private owner, it's not that clear, and they don't have a license you can take either, which makes it weird. But with dealers, Rodney, JFR Cars, you give a coupon, right?
Yeah, we'll give a coupon, and then in our towaways, if we get a trade-in that's a tow that didn't pass in, we can't sell. We're going to send it to the auction.
Yeah, you wholesale it. Yeah. Now, on the 3-day coupon, people buy a car, and that coupon gives them 3 days to get a test.
Right, emissions.
And then if it doesn't pass within that 3 days, you have to either make it pass or take it back, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, Norris is with SOS Inspections. He does a lot of used car checkout. That's why it's called usedcarcheckout.com. Hey, Norris, on selling a car that doesn't pass emissions, isn't there something called a towaway? You can put it on the bill of sale as a towaway. Do you know about it?
Yes, I do. But it actually has to be a towaway. And you literally have to pick it up with a trailer and tow it off.
Okay. Okay.
You can't just say it doesn't pass emissions and then drive it away. That's not the spirit of the law.
Okay. But if you sell it as a bunch of parts, a towaway, you can do that.
Yep.
Then someone can later on fix it up and get it to pass, right?
That's right. That's right.
So it's not once a towaway, always a towaway.
That's correct, yes.
What about salvage cars? Do they have to pass emissions? Do you know?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Norris, thank you very much. Used car checkout. Now, Norris, what's the #1 problem you're finding when you check a used car out for someone? What's the #1 thing that comes to mind?
Crash damage that doesn't show up on the Carfax.
Aha! And another one, I think, that is pretty common. Do you look for evidence if it has a timing belt and needs to be changed that it has been done?
Yes, I check that every time.
All right. Thank you very much. That's SOS Inspections, used car checkout. They don't do repairs. They just do inspections. And, Kevin, what about you? What are some of the things you find with checking out cars?
Here lately, suspension, because the roads are so bad. you know, loose, broken, bent parts from hitting potholes, different things.
Have you ever gone down the road with somebody in front of you? The car's track is going straight, but it's pointed sideways.
Pointing north, going west.
Have you ever seen that?
Yep.
It's like canted, and it looks so strange because it's going down the road, but it's pointing over to the right or left. And I'm thinking, whoa.
They got a good deal.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with that? Okay, a question I ask every week on Car Day. Parts, are they loosening up?
Some stuff, yeah. Some still problematic.
What are the most problematic parts?
Computerized parts.
The chips and stuff.
Yeah, different what they call TIPMs and different modules in 10-year-old cars. Not the newer stuff is starting to come back in, but that 10, 12-year-old window it's really still hard to find stuff.
What about hardware like brakes and stuff, pads?
Hit and miss, but it seems to be getting a little better.
What about when you need parts for transmissions or transfer cases or, motor mounts, that kind of stuff?
It's really arbitrary. I mean, that's the problem.
You never know.
You don't know, and you start in on a job, and then maybe the part you got is wrong. You go to order the right one, and now you're 5 days out.
Well, 5 days is better than 5 weeks.
It is, unless you have 20, 30 cars that are 5 days out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
And then people start getting upset with you.
Well, then you got a parking lot full of cars you can't work on either until you get the parts.
Rodney, what about sales? Is the supply getting better for used cars?
They're still a little bit tougher to locate. We can't always just go out and grab one the next day. It's not like that right now at all.
Now, do you go to the auctions?
We go to the auctions.
How are they? Are they pretty sparse?
The numbers are not the way they used to be yet.
Are prices up as a result?
Still,
people bidding more?
Up, right, and we're pulling more cars out of the state just to meet the demand because we just can't find them here.
Now, are there other states that are more plentiful with used cars for some reason?
No, I think you just open up the market when you open up to other states. So if we're going to find that car that's, in Colorado, that's a Toyota Highlander, well, you're going to pay more for that here. But if you find that car in Texas, you're going to do a little bit better. So you're just opening up the market to the neighboring states.
Okay. And as far as prices, they're all up, right? Prices are all up.
All the prices are up. Still the new cars are still, a lot of dealers are still doing $5,000 over, $3,000 over. So it's just the way it is.
Okay. And then as far as ordering, when you order a new car, can you get away from that $5,000 over, that $3,000 over?
That's loosening up there. So we're starting to see that we can get those at least at MSRP, depending on what type of car, maybe a little bit lower in some cases. So.
And I would think if the government is really trying to encourage electric, that they would have some kind of prohibition on making them outrageously priced with surcharges. Now, I don't like price controls, obviously, and that's a lot what it sounds like, but more or less, if they're really trying to encourage it, you get the tax credits, of course. Now, here's what I wondered about tax credits. Tax credits are a percentage of the vehicle purchase or value. Like, what would prevent a dealer from just raising the price ridiculously, knowing that, just like with solar systems, because people were getting a big tax credit, they would just raise the price accordingly and make more profit. I'm wondering if car dealers have caught on to that and are just raising the price of electric vehicles arbitrarily.
I think competition and internet is so strong, you can't, unless you just walked away from the rest of the world, you can't do those things that they used to do in the day unless you just...
I know. It's nowadays everyone can find out the invoice price of a car.
Exactly.
Or what it near invoice. And they know if they're getting taken advantage of. And, of course, also dealers have to put on there additional above and beyond the Maroni or the MSRP. If they want to charge more, they literally have to put an addendum on there.
Right.
Now, with used cars, that doesn't require it, does it, an addendum?
No.
You just ask what you want for it.
Ask what we want for it, and if you ask too much for it, it won't appraise, nor a bank will qualify you for it.
All right, 303-713-8255.
Could you explain the difference between invoice price and MSRP when buying a car?
Yeah, we'll do that, actually. That's a good point. We use these terms sometimes and don't explain them. Coming up.
This
Denver's talk station with Michael
Because there's a difference. It's never
Yes. Yeah, but also there's also terms that people use.
I can't figure out how to get it out.
This report
It's probably
is
from the
sponsored
camera.
by Discover.
You know a guy named Bobby Miller?
Bobby Miller. I don't know if I mean, that's about as cheap as my input as you're going to find. That's what I was saying. If we could find something else.
I'm with the auction stuff that's out there. It's not buying by these streets because they're not selling it.
Well, then you ask Shannon to turn it down.
Right now, it's probably more that way.
Reset your levels to 0 and see if it's redline. And if it's redlining, have him literally turn the volume. Sound scratchy. Bring your headphones in there and plug into where it is and see
I
what
make
it sounds
sure when I
like.
do it, I mean, at least you have the car back.
It's a big plug, just so you know.
Real credit card prices require real people.
Or Suzanne will have headphones right here.
That helps a little. Helps them with you. That's why Discover offers helpful U.S.-based representatives, available 24/7. Discover, exceptionally common sense.
You know, reverse loans can be a very valuable tool for getting equity out of your home without ever paying tax on it, no matter how much you take. And using it in your older years
for a lump sum for something, maybe monthly payments or a line of credit. But it's really important you get the right company to process that loan. And as you know, we're a real stickler about who we recommend. Empower Reverse Mortgage is one of those lenders you can trust. Mark Massey and his team will take care of you. They'll counsel you. They'll make sure they get a good fit for you and get you the best loan available for you. Empower Reverse Mortgage. You want to know all about them? Get free information. 833-502-3100. 833-502-3100. You can apply online even at empowerreverse.com. And speaking of real estate, maybe you want to find out what your house would sell for, and then you'll move on, or maybe you'll fix it up. Whatever it is, Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, will provide you with a free market valuation of that home to give you a preview of what it will sell for. Way more valuable than an appraisal, which, of course, buyers need when they're looking at loans, but you don't need that because most homes are selling for more than appraisals. He'll give you, Frank Duran will give you a true market assessment, complimentary. No obligation to list, but if you do, you can't do better. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. A lot of people want to fix up their home to sell. They want to get one price of carpet, or they're getting their dream home. They want to get a more expensive price of carpet, or they want to do luxury vinyl tile or hardwood floors. For all of your floor needs, Simply Floors Inc.com. Why do I recommend them? Because they have the best installers, the best design consultants to help you choose and integrate the proper floor, but also the best prices. Simply Floors Inc. is where you make your own appointment. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Everyone knows drinking and driving is against the law, and
It's funny you mentioned solar. I remember I was working for a solar company in the early 80s. Jesus, that's what they did. Because it was about an $8,000 system, and you get 75% state, federal rebates and everything else. Well, their scheme was they bumped the price to $10,000 and wrote the people a check for $1,500 if they signed the contract. Yeah, they didn't appreciate that at all. Because the cap was $10,000 on the rebate.
I didn't even know they were selling solar in '85. That's funny. Was it as popular?
Hot water stuff. Well, at the time, you know, the economy was what it was, and the price of heating and everything else, and the rebates, you basically got it for free.
They weren't as reliable, though.
No, it was the infancy of the
Those
network.
people shut them down, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Well, they had problems with contamination of their water and stuff, you know, because the silicone or whatever would leach into the water system, and all kinds of, yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, into the hot water part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you believe he bombed that
nuclear power plant. You got to be half fucking crazy. It would have been bigger than Chernobyl. It would have endangered all of Europe.
I think he was kind of doing it on purpose.
But don't you think they calculated what to bomb and where to
You know,
bomb?
yeah, because those nuclear plants weren't online. They were not functioning at
The reactors.
They were closed down for repairs. The plants that he bombed.
But still,
they could have.
I know. Yeah, I'm just saying that there was a little bit of a difference because they weren't actually.
Why aren't we helping them other than sanctions?
Because you can't have a war with Russia unless you're willing to go all the way.
Let's do more to improve.
It's going to be another world war once NATO.
Well,
gets
who would
involved.
join with Russia?
Considering the bathing went mainstream.
What makes you say that? Why would they?
They're supporting him right now.
In the 1900s, isn't it?
They're supporting him right now.
Why is Russia trying to get along? I thought they hated each other.
Because you know the enemy of the friend of your enemy is my enemy.
No, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Navage isn't medicine. It's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one
But the last thing, that's why they won't have a no-fly zone. Because they don't want an American pilot shooting down a Russian pilot.
By the way, I finished 1883. What a fucking downer. They didn't have any moments of happiness, for God's sake.
I love the end.
Well, I mean, it was nice. Sam Elliott killed himself. The young girl dies. You know.
Both of her husbands die. Or
Yeah. And then
she dies in a horrible way.
Well, at least that one guy.
How about the lady that the horse gets bit by the snake and she dies?
You know,
there's like 3 people left in the caravan.
But the only immigrants that made it was the guy that got his leg cut off. No, he was the only immigrant out of that entire party that they showed him getting settled. Yeah, I like that character. He was such a nice guy. But holy shit, are we talking about some bullshit?
6:30.
That's a trail.
Do you know that when he wrote that, Sheridan, when he wrote that? Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Get your calls in about your car problems, questions, and complaints, or any consumer problem, question, and complaint. And we'd love to talk to you about it. We've been talking about a lot of stuff over the last few days that bears repeating, because what I do is I go over what's called trending problems. And, of course, the number one trending problem, moving. Okay, I can't help but tell you that. The number one trending problem where people call a broker and get ripped off. It's that easy. Don't ever use a broker, period. Never use a broker. They don't care who they sell the contract to. They're not beholden to you. They don't own trucks. They can't tell you what's going to happen after they sell the contract. All they do is get you under contract. That's their job, and to get a down payment. Once they get that down payment, they don't care who they sell the contract to. So you're going to get ripped off by putting that payment down because you'll never see it, and they'll never credit it to anyone else, which means when someone else buys that contract, they get paid for that again. So now they got your down payment plus another payment for the contract. Now, the guys that buy the contract, they have a balance due coming under that original contract, right? Because you only paid a down payment to the broker. But that balance due isn't enough. They want to get more from you, so when they go to pick up the stuff, they're going to pop you for more money. In the rare circumstance they don't when they go to pick it up, they will do it when they deliver it. Sometimes they do it both. They do it when they pick up, then they sell that to another mover who then calls you and gets more money to deliver it, or they tell you it's going to remain in storage. It is a terrible, terrible industry. Now, another thing that's trending, restoration companies. Bad restoration companies. They hear about a tragedy, they start knocking on doors, or you call them, unfortunately. When you Google or search for restoration companies, I think 8 out of 10 of them will be ripoffs. So you get a ripoff company, and they immediately go to work. And they have your implied consent when you start putting down blowers, or they start putting down blowers, and you don't say no. So then they charge per hour per blower all night long. Now you're in deep, so you got to call your insurance, or you were hoping to keep it out of insurance, or you were going to do your co-pays as usual. But now they start getting you so deep, and that you're so into them that now, in addition to the insurance, they start charging you extra for extra stuff or upgrades. It's a mess. So moving and restoration, two trending topics. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mike, let's talk. What's going on with you?
Sorry. I used to get oil and gas checks from Crestone Peak, which used to be in Canna, and now it's something else.
Do you have a royalties interest, Mike, or a working interest?
Royalties interest.
Okay. For those listening, a royalties interest is simply that. For every barrel they pull out, a group of investors get royalty interests. Working interest is where you work with the people extracting the oil, but you also usually share with expenses, and it's a more risky position, although it pays higher. So now on a royalties interest, a lot of people buy up royalties on gas and oil wells, and they use it as retirement income or a portfolio item. Which is yours, Mike?
Well, when I bought the property, I had the mineral rights.
So you bought the property, you got mineral rights, and then someone bought those, leased those rights from you, or bought them outright, or what?
No, I still have them, but the ownership changed. In other words, the company that was servicing the...
You said you had mineral rights. Are they your mineral rights? Do you own them, or were they sold to a company that pays you a royalty?
Oh.
When you bought the property, tell me, Mike, how did you start getting checks? Start from the beginning. You bought a piece of property. Did someone knock on the door and say, oh, by the way...
Oh, no.
Okay.
I went through all the paperwork and everything else that came with the property. It was all confusing, but eventually figured out that I had some mineral rights or... Yeah.
You mean they were, but they had already been leased out and you inherited the payments, or did you initiate the whole thing?
No. I inherited the payments,
Okay.
I guess
All right.
is what you'd call it.
Okay, but
Sorry
just
if I don't know all the
no,
details exactly.
that's fine. But I want you to be clear, because here's the deal, Mike. The people who sold you the land did not have to sell you those royalties. They could have sold you just the land. But it's good.
Correct.
This is like gravy you got on top, because they had already leased out. They had already leased it out, and they said, "Oh, by the way, you get this now." Those royalties interests, if they truly were conveyed to you, carry with them a royalty at a certain percentage. How much were your checks?
Oh, it varies. I mean, now they were depending on how the price of oil and gas is going. I mean, they've gone up to about $800 a month or something.
And how low were they?
Oh, geez,
150.
100.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how often did you get checks? There are two kinds of ways: monthly, or they accumulate to what's called a suspension amount, and then or they're suspended until they get an accumulation. Then they distribute. So, how did you get a monthly?
Yes, I was getting a monthly, because if it was under $100, then they suspend it. But
okay.
If it's over 100, yeah.
So
I was getting them every month.
Roughly monthly. When did they stop?
January 14th.
Okay. Did you call the owner's relations? Do you find out about yours on Oil Decks, or do you have a software? They usually have an app online where they all use. Do you like Energy Link or one of those sites? Where do you go to see your royalties?
They send me an email, and it has it, and then it gets direct deposited.
Right. I get it. But they also have a website where you can log on as an owner, and you can.
Right. Yeah. That was Crestone Peak. Okay.
They had their own, CrestonePeak.com.
Yes.
Have you logged on recently?
It says the site isn't available.
Now, when an operator goes out of business, you don't get any more checks.
Well,
now, someone would have to buy those and re-resurrect them. In other words, you'll always have a royalty to that oil under your land if that's the way the lease is written. But if the company stops extracting, you get no more money.
The doesn't make a whole lot of a sense. I mean, how could it go from $800 a month every single month for the past year and then just stop?
That's what I'd like to. I don't know, actually. I mean, I don't know. Is it called Crestone Peak Energy? What is it called?
Crestone Peak Resources.
Okay. Then what you need to do is you have a customer number, right?
It's not working anymore.
But do they have a phone number you can call?
No.
Well, I have one right here. I mean, I just looked up, and it says they're open, and they have good reviews. Crestone Peak Resources. What number do you... In fact, they have a 720. Are they in Colorado?
Yes.
Oh, cool. What happens when you call that number?
Last time I called it, it just said that it was disconnected or whatever. Or, you know, I didn't dial it right or something. Dialed it again, didn't go through.
Hold on. Let's see this. If they answer...
Hey, Tom?
Yes.
Someone said Crestone Peak Resources was bought out by another company, and he just needs to Google it for the contact info.
And I've done that.
Okay, let's see.
That number doesn't go through either. It's phone hell. They tell you to hit 0 for the operator.
Yeah, that's weird. You're right.
There you go.
Okay, so Crestone Peak Resources. Listen, man, who took them over? Somebody took them over, and if somebody took them over, there's another company.
Best as I can tell, it's Civitas Resources.
Okay.
When I call their number, the problem is I call their number, and it says hit 0 for the operator, and then it says enter an extension of who you want to talk to. Hell, I don't know what an extension is. So
yeah, but you ask for owner's relations, but
no, there's nobody answers.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's what I said. Only I used other words.
There are that
were a little stronger.
There are oil and gas attorneys out there that you can get to do this, or you can simply, do you have the oil and gas man that negotiated your lease? Do you have his contact info?
That was a long time ago.
All right. Hold on. Let me noodle this for a minute. Okay, I got to take a break. Let me go onto my site. This guy's energy. I'm sure it's
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Right now we're looking at a closure of Alameda. It is east of Federal.
Where it's at right now is perfect.
Lanes blocked in the area, so avoid it.
Was it just to buy him? No, I had to get out of that plug, get into another one.
Oh, he put you in a different plug?
What was the name of that? I'm looking it up here. You said Civitas? Okay.
Yeah, that 4 was just, it's hot as like it's down on 0. And it's either screaming in your ear or buzzing.
Well, you should hear this one.
It probably sounds like that.
Nothing sounds like this one.
Where do you go?
Real credit card questions require real people.
Is it a gas station or is it kind of like a truck stop gas station? Okay. Saltwater taps.
U.S.-based representatives.
Okay. Where was it based out of? Virginia. Oh, okay. I don't know that part of the world at all.
Genesis Total Exteriors for all of your storm damage, your insurance damage, fire damage, fringe damage. They can do it inside and out. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Or they can actually do any home improvement, insurance or otherwise. Genesis Total Exteriors. And, of course, as I said, they do interior work as well. Now, I've known Mark for almost probably 30 years by now. Genesis Total Exteriors, 303-679-8509. Approval Reverse Mortgage. Again, another one of our approved lenders. Joan Sullivan and her team will take care of you when it comes to reverse loans. Shop around, get the comfortable fit. ApprovalReverse.com and find out about reverse loans. 303-771-3528. 303-771-3528. Last night, I went to an open house at the new clinic at Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine, out in Lakewood on Bayard. If you look at the website, you can find out all their locations, coloradopaincare.com. You'll find out about their convenient office hours, 7 to 7. That's right. And you can even get same-day appointments. I really love Colorado Pain Care for what they do for people. And the open house showed such a beautiful facility. They're all like that, with physical therapy, treatment rooms, consultation rooms, with all one target, getting you out of pain. And they got me out of pain. They can do you too. 303-GOT-PAIN. ColoradoPainCare.com. Welcome to...
I take care of some stuff. I'll see you on Monday morning.
Oh,
have a good weekend.
Later, Doc.
We're running away, Doc? Yeah, have a good weekend.
You got a lot of snow coming.
Yeah, that's not looking good.
Shit, I just saw it. I mean, literally, I just saw on 9 News. Hold on.
Well, yeah, they're saying 2 to 5.
Well, I'm always looking where I'm at, though.
Yeah.
Where I'm at, it's 6 to 8.
Yeah, but it's been so warm, 6 to 8 is going to melt down to 2. You know, just enough to be annoying.
Okay, now I can search for this. So
Yeah, Castle Rock 6-2. Denver 4-7. Who knows though, man? Arvada says 8 inches. Golden 8 inches.
Coming from the west, huh?
The mountains can see up to 20.
I remember that when I lived out in Elizabeth. You get 2 inches in Denver and you get 3 feet out there.
Social Security questions?
I think I saw your kid. I was going to ask him, but he's at the Walmart there, right? In Castle Rock.
Benefits for a divorced or surviving spouse.
Trevor.
So many questions on Social Security will not give you the answer.
Then I didn't see it because the name tag said Trevor. So unless he's wearing Trevor's name tag.
Oh, they have Crestone is on here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't spoken to him in years.
Yeah, Suzanne said that. Took mom's side.
Yeah, we had to pick sides. We couldn't just be all.
You hope that comes around, but
you know, I was the asshole that would push him to do something with his life. And
So you have a son in the biz. You have a son in the biz?
No, he's just talking to my son. Manages a Walmart down in Castle Rock.
You guys about to take over
Walmart passed for something in the store.
Well, I didn't because it was Trevor.
How did you know he was related?
Because I know his son works there, but I thought his name was Trevor, and I passed to Trevor, who looked about 30-ish, or how old is he?
32, 33, yeah. He's a big kid, though.
He's the one behind the counter serving those little round pizzas.
They don't have little round pizzas.
Oh, do they have a snack bar at Walmart?
They got it
at Target.
They have like Subway and McDonald's that are.
They're getting rid of those in a lot of them.
Are they really? Yeah.
You know what they're putting in now are Claire's, which sells, the pierce ears and stuff.
Oh, they do all that shit.
I mean, the kids love. They must be making good money off of it.
Yeah. I've never been to the store.
You go to Walmart at night. The kids just hang out there.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
At Walmart?
At Walmart, yeah. At least
It's
in my
cold out.
neighborhood.
Yeah, you gotta go to the store.
I remember when I used to go cross country in my motorhome, we'd look for a Walmart to park.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They get big parking lots.
But they allow you to.
King Soopers is pretty good, too. Usually you just go in, and or city markets, like up in the mountains and shit. If you go in and ask the guy, they're usually cool. I've never had one say no. But you better ask. Where Walmart, I think, most of them you can just go.
That was well known across the country, but then I think they cracked down on it or something because there were many.
Some stores don't allow it. If it's like a high crime store, they don't.
Well, they were living there. Some people.
Well, that's a whole
They
different
weren't
thing.
leaving. Yeah, they pull in on.
They're tents. We said RVs, no tents.
You're growing grass up.
He's got a pop-up with no car.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Dino here, 303-713-TALK. Okay, we got a lot of calls I want to take very quickly here. Comments on Crestone Resources, LLC. By the way, they are listed on EnergyLink, and just for those not familiar with oil and gas royalties, you log on to EnergyLink.com with a username and password, and you get a username and password from the operator. Now, if you have more than one operator that you get royalties from, you log on, and all of your personal royalties will show up under separate operators so you can keep track of your monthly checks. So, Mike, what I want to tell you is no matter what, you should go on because it allows you through this app here or this website, EnergyLink.com, to contact any one of the operators. Now, I don't see a Civitas or whatever that's called. I see a Crestone Resources listed. Hold on. We have some comments here, Mike, from other people. Alice, what's your comment on Crestone?
Hi, yes. I have been dealing with Crestone ever since they bought Encana. I was with Encana before that, and I did get the same notice. Usually, I mean, my royalty checks have varied. I mean, I've been doing it for 35 years.
Yeah.
But one thing you have to remember, you don't count on this as income. This is a royalty.
Right.
Mine have gone from the very beginning from like 2,500 to now currently 100. And I don't even get checks. They're direct deposited.
Right.
I haven't seen one in 2 months from Crestone, but that's because of the transfer over.
That's what I figured,
So
because usually when there's a transfer, it can take 4 months, and then they send you all the back checks.
Right. And, you know, the last check I got was for $95.
You know what always amazes me, Alice? I don't know if this amazes you. How well they do keep track of royalties. I mean, you very seldom hear you very seldom hear about people getting screwed with royalties, and I think that's because of the tight controls the government has on it.
Well, and they're pooled on a 160-acre pool, so it depends on how many acres you own of that 160-acre pool.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Daryl, what is your comment? If you can't continue, if you can't finish it, I'll continue. What's going on?
Tom, I just wanted to let him know he'll get a letter. I got mine yesterday from Civitas, and he'll get his letter. He just has to confirm the information's in there, and the money's went into escrow.
Yeah, it's in what they call suspension. Thank you.
God, I got a lot of royalties numbers. Now, my royalties have quadrupled. Really? Yeah, now I want to sell the motherfuckers. Can I tell you the biggest problem with royalties? The biggest problem in the world. So you buy. When you buy what she calls pools, right? So I literally have thousands of acres of royalties that aren't dug. I have thousands that are, right? Now, how do you sell it? Because I bought in groups from estates, right? So now Tom Martino owns all of these fucking royalties, and they offer me to buy this one, or this one, or this one. I don't even know what my basis is. So if I sell them all at the end, I don't even know if I'm going to have more than I put in or less. Because there's no way to calculate a fucking basis. There's no way to do it. I mean, with anything else, it's easy. With stocks, how many did you buy? What you buy it for, right? How do you calculate a basis when you paid, let's say, one lot of royalties you bought for $300,000, right? But there's all kinds of things in that $300,000. So what's this one worth of that $300,000? You can't fucking tell. If you do it equally, you'll be really screwed because some of them are worth more than others.
And it could change it.
And to this date, it's because the way I bought them, I didn't go out to the operator and buy them. I rebought them from people who debts and estates, and I've accumulated. So now I have about $1 million in equity. Originally. What's it worth now? If I sell them all, maybe I only come out with 200. Who knows? They say this much an acre. But I don't know what they are. And so now I'm literally stuck because I don't know what I'm selling.
Is it a percentage then? Would they give you a percentage of the value?
No, they buy a certain one from you. And that one might have a certain percentage of a certain pool. So it might be the XYZ well, okay? But if I sell that XYZ well at this price, then I have the other wells to make up the. In other words, how do I make back what I invested, or how do I even know I will? There's no way of knowing unless you sell it all. You can't. You have to sell it. That's exactly right. All at once, or sell it the same way I bought it. I bought this group for $300. Now I have to get $300 for it, or more. I bought this one for $75,000. You know, otherwise it's impossible. It's
to know the value. To know the value.
You don't, because there's so many. Okay, I sat on one I never got a dime from. Then they started drilling, sending me checks because I have so much undeveloped leases. And now, the ones that I have are already approved things. And as soon as he shut down that fucking pipeline, everything started getting used. I mean, Biden has done me a solid. But it's not good for the country.
But you can't say that.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the
I
IRS...
it's something I wish I didn't get into, only because I don't know how to get out of it. That's what I mean. It's almost like I'm stuck with it. I'm getting good returns. Even on my worst years, I got good returns. It's better than any savings account or any normal stock. But still, I don't like that feeling of not being able to get my principal back.
Powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier.
It's a fucking right.
But you probably made enough to, no matter what you get out of it.
Well, no. I mean, I don't know if I made back my principal.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't. I made a great return on my principal, but I don't think I've made 100% now. Okay. No shit. That's the biggest fucking problem. I just never realized it. Now I have advice I give. Never get into anything where you can't calculate a basis. Never. Because you're fucked. If you cannot calculate your basis, you're fucked. You don't know how to get out of it. Cars, man, you guys have your basis down to a fucking penny.
Yeah.
Don't you?
You do.
Voice of the Rockies, Jack Corrigan, says one in particular is a big sticking point.
There is, I think, one major issue that is the holdup, and that's the CBT, the competitive balance tax, quasi-salary cap, if you will, in baseball.
The two sides met yesterday. The commissioner has canceled the first two series of the 2022 season for each team. If the two sides don't come to a collective bargaining agreement soon, more games could be canceled. That's the latest.
Fucking baseball. They're fucking morons.
You know the base salaries for young guys coming in? No. 700. 700. And they're crying about it. That's on the, not minor leagues, but
okay. It's crazy. And what are they asking for? Is anybody even following it?
It's the same bullshit that they did the last time. The veterans are trying to make it better for the younger guys, and it's like then don't take $40 million a year, take 20.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make it better for the younger guys. They're arguing about how to split the $100 billion pot. If it's 50-50 owners players or 60-40, basically. And the same argument, the owners need protection from themselves from signing guys for $350 million contracts.
Big box retailers. Blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit.
They kiss my ass. I'm not going to any games.
I get free tickets on you. I ain't buying nothing.
Well, yeah, but when my kids were younger, a buddy of mine was a groundskeeper there. We got really good seats. And I used to tease him. I said, dude, I'll buy the seats if you feed my kids.
Fuck yeah.
You go up to the concession, you get a couple beers, a couple hot dogs, and a purple cotton candy. $100.
Remember when they first opened, the rock pile was, what was it, $5?
It was $1.
$1.
It was, yeah.
It's a nice stadium course, man.
I like that they have the concourse you can walk around. A lot of stadiums don't have that. Where you get out in the outfield, you can still watch the game and just kind of,
yeah. It's kind of cool.
We used to go out there for batting practice, try to catch a ball.
It's kind of sad, though, the taxes that, people pay that
to build
they'll never be able to get into it. The prices are so crazy. Even the nosebleed seats are pretty expensive. Well, I haven't been there in a long time, but I imagine
but it's all of it. Pepsi Center, everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to take a family, I mean, it's a $500 bill just to get over there.
We went skiing.
Sports, baseball or basketball or anything.
Holy shit, real.
Yeah. I took the kids skiing years ago. It was about $1,000 that day. Yeah, one day. And it was only I got 3 kids and the wife.
You got 12 kids.
3 kids and wife. There was one.
Right. And the food, the renting of the skis.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's why you're sitting with our No, not for me. You.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
No. Yeah, that's me, and I'm so happy to be here. And I ask that you give me a call with any problem, question, or complaint for people new to this area, new to listening to iHeart or KHOW or KRDO or any one of our outlets through podcasts or streaming, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. If you're new to it, this is the only show really of its kind where we take calls from people who have problems. And then we solve the problems if we can at 303-713-TALK. Now, when we're not here, that's the studio number, 303-713-TALK. But you can call 303-MARTINO at any time, including when we're on the air, 303-627-8466. And when you call, you leave a message if we're not here, or it comes right through to the studio or office, and then we'll talk to you. You don't have to wait. But if you call now, we'll get right to you as well on any problem. And as I said, the trending problems recently were moving, brokers, and restoration companies because of all the fire damage and surrounding damages and a lot of the rip-offs going on. But there are more than that, too. There are other problems we confront. And trending contractors who take money up front and do little or no work or bad work. It's like the pandemic has spawned bad contractors. We have guests today for Car Day. That doesn't mean we only talk cars, but we have Car Day. We have Rodney from JFR Cars. Rodney, welcome. And Rodney, the message I'm getting from you, used cars are loosening up a bit. New cars, you can probably avoid a lot of surcharges if you order. And what about in between? Any other advice on replacing or buying or upgrading? Is it still a overall kind of bad time, or what are you finding, or does it depend?
Yeah, there's still challenges. There's challenges, just not enough inventory out there. And which in turn pushes on the used car.
Now, Rodney, I talked to you about selling mine and getting another one, and you found me a better deal than I thought I could find on a new one. And I should have pulled the trigger, but I wasn't sure I wanted to switch brands. But in general, I can't afford to replace the car I drive. I can't afford it. I literally can't afford it. What I mean is to buy one of those. I mean, again, I can't. I've never had that happen where the car I'm driving, and this is my second one, I can't afford it. I can't afford another one.
Well, yeah.
I mean, really, or put it this way, I would refuse to afford it. I mean, absolutely refuse.
Yeah, that's not a $5,000 over MSRP on that one.
It's $100 over.
Yeah.
I've never seen in my life a car go for $100,000. No, and in California, they were $150,000 over. And I said to the woman, "Are you crazy?" Now, it seems to me people with that much money would be smarter and not pay that. And she says, no, it gets to a point where they're so pissed off and desperate, they want to get it before anyone else. And I said, so they'll pay. This was Jones. What's his name? It's not they're a big giant Mercedes deals out in California, Newport Beach. Anyway, I bought a car from them once. But anyway, they said $150,000 over. And I said, that can't happen. Nobody would do it. Oh, no, they can't keep them in stock. Yeah. And I said, what? They can't keep them in stock. Okay, now, other cars, how you found that one Beamer, I don't know. I don't know how you found it. The same color, everything. Maybe I should have done it. But what are people doing then? Are they waiting? Are they waiting? Are they saying, no, I'm not going to buy? Mark's not selling. Mark used to trade in every 2 years, and he had equity. So what he would do is sell it for almost what he paid for it, if not what he paid for it, I swear to God, and he'd buy another one. And this is the first time in how long you didn't do that. You didn't do it. You refused to pay the price, and I do too.
Long time.
So Fletcher Jones is the name of that giant dealership. Fletcher Jones. Anyway, I'm not saying that anything's wrong with him, but How do you pay prices?
People want what they want, and they want it now.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'll never be stupid. No, and here's the thing that happens with inflation or shortages. You find yourself driving a car you can't afford if you had to replace it, or a house you can't afford if you had to replace it. I mean, I know the prices on homes are outrageous, and I've said this many years ago before the Great Recession. When I'm living in a house that they say is worth more than I'm willing to pay for it, and it's my house, I say, well, then I'm not willing to pay for this house that much. Right. So that's when you know there's a problem. Jamie, what's going on with you, Jamie? Hi, Jamie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just have a question about my daughter's. I don't have a lot of information, but my daughter's employer told her that they double paid the tip, and when she deposited, this was after she deposited the check, the bank is now telling her she has to wait for 2 weeks for that check to be good. That's not legal, is it?
Well, hold on. Let me. It depends, Jamie. Let's get the circumstances right. When they paid her originally, they paid her more than she was supposed to get. Is that what they're claiming?
Yes.
And they did that by some kind. They did that to everyone or just her?
No, everyone.
And they did that probably with a computer error. Is this a place where they calculate it based on gross receipts and they do a 15 or 20% based on gross receipts, or did they actually count the actual tips?
They actually count the tips.
Then how is it that they paid everyone double? Was it like a keystroke where they the computer did that, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a lot of the information, but
okay, that part is what sounds sketchy to me, because the two ways they calculate, and they are allowed to do gross receipts times a certain percentage, and then waiters and waitresses or wait people, they decide if they want to accept that, and they do, and you know, the IRS kind of looks the other way, but the other way is to literally pass through exactly what she made, and then if somebody tips little, somebody tips a lot, it reflects accurately. But I don't see how that can be done on every single wait person and then doubled. I mean, not that that matters to you at this point, because you're upset with the other part, and that is, did they tell her she had to pay back the overage?
No. The only thing she knows right now at this point, because she can't get a hold of payroll, is when she deposited her check, the bank is telling her that it won't be good until the 14th.
But what does that have to do with doubling the tips she got?
Well, I think I'm assuming, I don't know. I'm assuming that it's because the casino double paid them, and so they're holding the checks until they can fix them.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's right. They realized that they issued a number of checks, and they're going to stop payment on them probably and issue new ones.
Right. Right, but they're saying they can't pay her until the 14th.
Right. So that will put her behind how long?
2 weeks.
Okay. I don't know. Now, I'm not telling you I'm wrong. I'm going to find out. I don't know of any law that talks about frequency of payment. It simply talks about payment. I don't know if there is a law. I got to find out. That says they must be paid every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. I don't know about it, so I got to figure that out. We may have to talk to an attorney about that. So I want to know this. If she waits out the time they're telling her, what will be the total time between paychecks?
2 weeks.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for that. I don't think you can force the. So normally she gets paid weekly?
No, she gets paid every 2 weeks. She just got paid yesterday.
Well, then if she gets paid every 2 weeks, what I don't understand is it's not going to be any more than every 2 weeks, even with the mistake.
No. She's not getting her check. They won't
okay,
make it
that's what I'm asking you, Jamie. I'm asking you, by the time they correct the mistake, how much time would have lapsed from the last time she got a check?
4 weeks.
Okay. So Now the question is, do employers have to pay a paycheck more than every 4 weeks? That's what we have to find out, because that would be the real issue. Like, if they made a mistake, tough, they still have to pay them or not. I know people who get paid every monthly, so I don't know if it is a law. So, Suze, who can we call on the labor part? Like, do employers have to pay weekly, biweekly, monthly? Well, like, can they choose when to pay? So let's find out. I mean, we got to figure this out with one of our attorneys. So hold on, and we'll try to figure that out for you. 303-713-8255. I see that we have a call here coming up about Frank Duran, and that's a good time for me to remind you that Frank Duran does free market valuations on your home, and they're complimentary, really. They are detailed with measurements, comparables, photos, and he wants to give you an idea of what that will sell for, how long it'll take, and what you'll get for that house, which is way more accurate than just an appraisal or just a Zillow or something like that. And he does it complimentary. Now, if you choose him to list your home, there's no obligation. You'll never do better. 303-920-1622.
Finding great
to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter.
If they find a better way to get their money back than screwing people around for money. It's hard enough to hire people. Why would you,
I wonder, like, if they said, oh, we issued a wrong amount, I say, why not just make it up those next checks?
Yeah, why make them wait?
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
You know what's coming up? It's unfortunate for some. It's St. Patrick's Day. Now, why do I say unfortunate? Because inevitably people are going to be arrested for DUIs and public intoxication, assault, maybe disorderly conduct, whatever. It happens. Now, listen, no one is going to justify drinking and driving ever. You can avoid it with ride shares, taxis, designated drivers. But there will be people charged. And one thing I can tell you for an absolute certain, don't ever try to represent yourself, and don't ever shop for an attorney when you're under pressure. I've done the shopping for you. Joseph A. Lazara will give you a defense. He will help you through the system. He will do it with flat rate pricing and free initial consultations on the phone. 303-429-6200. Keep the name, keep the number. I hope you never need it. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. When people are getting ready for retirement, or not just even retirement, but savings, there's all kinds of options. Some people will do a money market just to get 1%. But here's the deal. Become the Banker will give you a guaranteed 4% plus a 1% dividend. That's 5% tax-free. How? They have a strategy called Become the Banker, where it sits in an account tax-free. You're allowed to borrow from it tax-free. You're allowed to pay it back with more interest on purpose tax-free. And you grow this amount for retirement and get tax-free income for life. Find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org. Speaking of financing, if you're looking to get a loan, let me tell you the benefits of Ideal Home Loan. First, they're a direct mortgage lender. That means no middleman. You deal directly with the lender. They control the entire process. You can do it online. You can do it on the phone. You can do any length of term you want, any amount you want. You can pull cash out if you qualify, or you can pay down high-interest debt, whatever you need to do. And they have the interest rate guarantee, which means if rates go down over the next 2 years after closing, they refinance you free of charge. And that's a 2-year warranty every time you close. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next Ideal Home Loan. They also have a pre-approval, which the money is set aside, and it's like a cash deal. You're guaranteed to get that loan, so when you go out to shop, there's no loan approval needed. You can buy like a cash buyer. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000, 867-7000.
Hi, I'm Dr. Allen with Restore Osteo, Colorado. What activity would you enjoy if your knees didn't hurt? Have you wondered if there is an alternative to surgery? At RestoreOsteo.com, discover our unique Healthy Knee Protocol, a process created with you in mind. Request an appointment today at any of our 5 convenient locations in Golden, Aurora, Horton, Colorado Springs, and now Littleton. Begin your journey to healthy mobility and healthy living. Visit Restore.
How is this Ukrainian thing going to end? Guys, I think the only way it can end is that they take over the country. And then do we keep the sanctions or do we say, okay, now we're all happy? I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, because I mean, there's an article here. They're worried about the dangers of cornering Putin and how he'll lash out. You know.
Do you know we are buying 600,000 barrels a day from them?
Yeah, we are, and that's the part that gets a little weird.
Well, because
like it's dirty.
Well,
dirty.
Biden is thinking this.
A little bit.
Here's what Biden's thinking. We put all those other sanctions on, and the world did too. But if we stop buying oil, we're going to punish our people. That's what he's thinking. And we will. Our gas would go to what? $8, $6, $8.
We were independent. What are you saying, Tom? We were independent. We can't.
Wow.
If they can turn that on,
that's to leave the president.
What's that?
That's to leave the president. I winked. He knows I'm kidding.
He's still staring you down.
I come in here every day.
That's what Marco says to him, kidding around. Because here's why. Because here's what Biden said. He said it himself. If you're black and you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Yep. Right.
Now, come on. Now that in
lost
itself.
half the black vote. Would you explain to him? And he lost half the black vote when he said that. I know I turned my nose.
No, I know.
I know I did. Well, I wasn't going to vote for him anyway.
But I think actually Biden got in because of hate for Trump, and it's a lot of people. They were voting against Trump.
Absolutely.
More than anything else.
Yes. Well, he wasn't. Remember, he wasn't 100% sure to run for president. They pushed him into that position because there's nobody else to run against him.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Do you think he'll run again?
No.
Biden?
Biden or Trump?
He says he's going to.
Biden's going to run into his closet and close the door.
Unfortunately, Trump will, and he's going to divide the party.
And works to resolve them with you. That's why Discover offers helpful U.S.
I like the editorial cartoons. Everyone they show with Biden's got his little city cup.
Exceptionally common sense. Denver's talk station.
You know, the one that told the truth, Graham got in trouble for calling for an assassination.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Davis is an attorney at law that's been with us for many, many years at referralist.com. And among some of the things he has done for us over the past is employment law. John Davis, is there any law that says a paycheck has to be at regular intervals? And if so, what intervals? And the reason we ask that is because they issued a check in error from this casino, and Jamie's daughter got one of those paychecks, and now they're saying, don't cash that, we're not going to cash that, we're going to issue a new one. So when she looks at her last paycheck and the new corrected paycheck, there will be an interval of 4 weeks. And the mom wants to know, can they do that?
Well, it's not entirely an easy question. Generally speaking, if you are still working for an employer, as opposed to having separated, in which case other statutes kick in and other requirements kick in, they are supposed to pay in accordance with the agreement they have with the employee. There is no law that says, for the most part, with the exception of certain areas of employment, trying to correct past issues, for example, with migrant workers and so on. You know, they can pay you every 2 weeks. They can pay you every month. It's what your employment agreement would call for.
Okay.
They're assuming they're in violation of the agreement. That might very well provide a theoretical opportunity for a remedy. But the reality is that if the employer made a mistake and it wasn't bad faith, it wasn't an attempt to defraud or steal wages, there's not a lot that's going to be done. And by the time any remedy could be effectuated, that time would have passed and the check would have been issued. It's not like there's going to be
instant
immediate remedy for it. And
I think
then there's the question of, do you really want to file a complaint and sue your employer for what sounds like a mistake rather than bad faith.
And then what would you get in damages anyway if you had to wait an extra 2 weeks? So, Jamie, whatever happens, by the way, I want to just caution your daughter. Don't ever let her get into that dead spiral called payday loans. You know, where she borrows against the future.
It doesn't seem like it seems like it's a mistake. They need to pay. They need to either issue another check right away, or
and that would be ideal
check or something.
That would be ideal. But the thing is they can't, and the corporate wheels move slower. Now, I don't know how this is going to affect your daughter individually, but as John said, unless it's a violation of a breach and some kind of an egregious action, I doubt she'd succeed in getting damages, let alone, taking the time and energy to do it.
And she might have a claim for any losses she experiences if she misses, if she can't make a credit card payment and so she suddenly has an interest obligation she otherwise wouldn't have, or she misses a car payment and they begin repossession, or a loan gets accelerated because she missed a loan payment. Those are certainly damages that she could potentially raise if, in fact, she wants to sue, and the financial component makes it worth doing that. As Tom, as you indicated, it's sort of unfortunate working for a large, corporation that probably isn't going to worry about an individual situation like this. I would expect a smaller employer to say, well, let me cut you a check.
Yeah.
Just to tide you over, then we'll deduct that from, from the actual check we pay. But I can see where if it's an employer who has multi-state business and maybe hundreds or thousands of employees, trying to get that kind of personalized responsibility is very hard to do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think, Jamie, if it's going to be just another 2 weeks from the regular paycheck, you're not going to have time to do anything. But John, and aren't employees able to go to small claims court even with some minor losses?
They can, and if they can go to small claims court, and the jurisdiction for small claims, I believe, is still limited to $7,500.
Right.
The other thing is she could also contact the Colorado Department. I assume this is in Colorado.
Yes.
Colorado Department of Labor, explain to them and see if they would intervene, because they, several years ago, were given greater power to deal with these kinds of issues. But I suspect that their processing time would exceed the time in which the check's going to be issued anyway. But she could certainly call them and speak to one of the representatives of the Department of Labor and say, here's what happens, what can we do? And they may very well have the power to put pressure on the employer in some way I'm unaware of at some administrative level.
Thank you. That's John Davis. That's Davis Law Firm on our referral list at referralist.com. 303-708-1842. All right, Margaret, you wanted to tell us about Frank Duran, the real estate man. What's going on?
Hi.
Hi.
I am a long-time listener.
Well, thank you for being a long-time listener.
I love the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is my thing, is I just want to talk to him personally and before too long, and I thought if I could tell them when I call that you had referred me. It might
yes,
get me a
of
little
course.
Speed.
No, Frank will talk to no, he'll talk to you. You don't even need to say, you don't even need to say Tom sent you. I mean, I don't mind if you say that because it makes me feel good, like when people say that to people.
Well, that's where I heard from him always.
Yeah, but so, Frank is such a lovely man. If you say, hey, I want to talk to Frank personally, I'm sure he's happy to talk to you. Now, what is your issue? Are you thinking to sell? Thinking to sell or buy or what?
I'm thinking to sell.
And what are you going to do?
I need some advice.
Oh, he'll give you advice.
Representation, I don't think.
No, and you know what? He'll be happy to do that, and he would do it without any obligation. That's how nice he is. And Margaret, just try it. And if you have any problem getting through, let me know. But what are you going to move away, out of state, or what are you going to do?
No, this is a property I had because I had a relative who was in trouble and needed a place to stay.
How nice are
And
you?
now they've found another place.
So is it a home?
Yes.
You're going to have no problem selling homes in this market.
Well, they've been there for more than 20 years, and it's not in very good shape. So that's the thing. Yeah.
What part of town is it in general?
Park Hill. Park Hill.
A nice area. You're man.
Yeah.
What size is it?
Small.
You know, people love fixer-uppers. They do. They love them. In fact, some of them love them.
That's what I'm hoping that will be the market.
I think you're going to be shocked at how much you can get.
I just want to maybe get back what I've spent.
Okay.
I'll be happy.
Out of curiosity, what did you spend over the years on this house?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
What did you buy it for? How much?
$150.
Oh my God. You can't get a garage for $150. Now,
well, you know what? I'm just not much of a wheeler dealer,
no,
but I just
don't
hope
let
that I can.
Don't let anyone take advantage of you. That's where you need Frank.
Well, that was why I wanted to talk to him.
Okay. If you want, we can, Margaret, I would be happy, because you're a longtime listener, to take your number, and we can give it to Frank personally.
That would be so wonderful.
Let's do that.
Offline,
yes,
right?
Yes, of course. I don't want all the men calling you for a free place to live. So hang on. All right. Now, Suze, would you get her number, and we'll pass it along to Frank and have Frank call her? That would be a great situation.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Leland.
630 KHOW, Denver.
Sometimes when I go to a place
Now, Impact
and I'm hounded to review that
by Blindside
with follow-up emails,
One or two, plenty.
I don't
after
mind.
that.
I guess they live or die by them. I should do it, especially the ones that were good. You know.
That's terrible, because I bitch about not being able to get reviews, and then I do that. I don't leave reviews, and that's terrible. I mean, you can't bitch about it if you're not going to do it yourself.
And then more snow into Saturday night through early Monday morning, a high of 30 on Sunday, 2 to 5 inches.
Because the Looney Tunes sure have the energy when they're pissed. They just, you know.
By the way, I ordered for us.
You have to beat them without the crust.
There's no guidebook.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I know it's crazy.
Go to adoptuskids.org to learn more about how to be the perfect parent to teens in foster care. Sponsored by Ad Council.
You know, we talk about plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains a lot because they are the vital home services. And Fix It 24/7 is one of the companies I trust in my home. They did a constant flow water heater for me. Oh, man, is it wonderful. And a furnace. They can do anything for you. Now, what I really love is this preventive care they do for just $24. Now, they've recently lowered it to $24. Listen, it was a loss at $39 when they were doing it. It's worth hundreds of dollars. They spend hours on your system to clean, take it apart, to lubricate, to put it back together, to adjust, and to make sure you don't have any further breakdowns. FixMyHome.com. Just $24 for that extreme clean and check. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. So we're talking about real estate a lot on this show, right? One thing that baffles me is how people go through expensive real estate transactions and never hire a real estate attorney. And that's only a few $100 really to review documents. Now, you may have to hire one for more serious things like adverse possession, or maybe an easement problem, a lien, or a property line dispute. Whatever it is, we recommend Brad O'Brien at O'Brien Legal Services. Now, here's the website and number. O'Brien Legal Services is olslaw.com. 720-370-7388.
You know, a state-licensed insurance adjuster, you know what that is? It's a public adjuster, and they work for you. If you have a claim on your homeowner's policy or commercial policy, you don't have to just deal with your insurance company. They got one goal in mind, and that is to pay you the least amount of money. You want an adjuster on your side. Call for free information. Matt at Paragon Services will look over whatever's going on in your life and let you know how he can help. It's free and well worth the call. 719-726-0020. 719-726-0020.
Hey, Mario Courtney Lopez here. We know life's moments are definitely better together.
And Smart Mouth mouthwash gives us the confidence to always be ready to make the most of these moments.
Whether in studio, on the red carpet, or around the house, having the confidence to get close is amazing.
Our lives are better together with Smart Mouth. Just 2 rinses a day means fresh breath for 24 hours.
Find it at your favorite drug, grocery, or supercenter store, or save 20% at smartmouth.com/radio.
It's replacement windows season. If your windows are drafty, difficult to operate, or costing you money on your energy bills, it's time to replace them. Champion Windows is going to help. Right now, Champion is offering buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Champion built their own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We then built your project in our very own factory. Our install team manages your project every step of the way, and it's all backed by our lifetime guarantee. Turn your house into your dream home with more livable space in a new Champion sunroom, or enhance your river field with new siding. Now 30% off. Don't wait. This sale won't last long. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and 30% off sunroofs and siding. Plus 60 months. Low interest financing options. Visit ChampionSaveNow.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. Always have to find our regular prices. Select time for price. And then purchase the final purchase from one time.
Hey, Tom, can we clarify that collector car year? Yeah, let's clear that up.
Yeah, for sure. Did he say something wrong?
No, I'm just trying to clear it up. It's just basically 1975.
Okay.
No one appreciates the American dream as much as Romanian immigrant Mitch Gloria. He arrived with just $300 in his pocket, started Art of Planet, now serves the entire Front Range and mountain community. A direct stone importer who passes hotel prices on to his customers for all countertops. Completed in just 2 weeks. You have the kitchen done, tear out and haul away. Get a price on the phone. 303-386-5919. TheArtofPlanet.com.
Everyone knows drinking and driving is against the law and extremely dangerous. If you've been drinking, you could easily make the bad decision to get behind the wheel, a decision that could be fatal. If you're going out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and plan on drinking, keep yourself and others safe by planning a sober ride home. Whether it's a taxi, rideshare, sober designated driver, or having a trusted friend on call, planning for a sober ride home is the smart and safe thing to do. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by NHTSA. 630 KL, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Pat, let's talk about your airline ticket. Go ahead, Pat.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, man, what's going on with your airline ticket?
Hey, yeah, call me. Listen, Tom, how about some airline tickets? And we couldn't go because of the pandemic.
Okay.
So they're still good until the end of April. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get them extended until out to July. Do airline people, do they do that?
Yeah, well, because of the pandemic, they do sometimes. It depends. Sometimes, when was it originally scheduled, the travel?
It was scheduled in, July of last year.
I mean, was that when you were supposed to travel?
Yes.
July of 21, you could not go, so they extended it till April of this year.
No, they didn't extend it. We didn't go, but they said you can use them up until an expiration date, which would be this coming April.
Who determined that expiration date?
Southwest Airlines.
Like arbitrarily? Where'd they get that date from, I'm wondering?
We told them, we called them and we had to cancel the flight. And they said, okay, well, you have until this period of time, or you can use them again.
No, I get it. I get it. So did you call and ask if they would extend it one more time?
Yeah, we were told that we can extend it, but we have to come in after they expire, which makes no sense.
No, I wouldn't wait for that. No, I wouldn't wait for that. Did you call them and they actually said that? They said, oh, yeah, just wait for it to expire?
Yeah.
They actually said that to you. Southwest Airlines said that?
Yeah.
Did you call them back to see if you get the same answer? That's crazy.
I got another flight coming up in a week and a half, and I'm going to go over there and give my best to see if we can't get them extended out to further.
What do you mean another flight? You mean the one from last year?
No, this is a new one.
A new one. So wait a minute. When was this? When was this reservation made?
We made this 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so why do you want to extend this latest one?
Because we paid for them, but we can't use them because we.
Why? Why 2 weeks ago? Let me ask you this. 2 weeks ago, you made a reservation to fly in another week. Why? Why did you do it?
Because it has nothing to do with the tickets I bought previously. This is a new trip. We have to go.
No, I know. But the new trip, why do you want to delay the new trip too?
I don't want to delay the new one. The new one, I'm going to go.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So I get it. The new trip is the one keeping you from going on the old trip.
No, the new one we're going to go.
Okay.
So that's no issue.
Okay.
It's the old trip.
Got it.
We're trying to extend out further.
Okay, good. So when you called them, they said, well, wait for it to expire. That doesn't make sense. And when did you get that answer? Just recently?
Yeah, just about. My daughter called for me and she said,
did you go online and try? Did you go online and try to change it?
My niece did, and she was unsuccessful as well.
Gosh.
So if we don't use them by July or April the 29th, we lose. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What?
8 tickets that are going to expire. Yeah, we were all going to go on a family vacation.
Where were you going?
We were going to go to Florida, but I got COVID and I had to cancel.
Right. So you want to just postpone it how long?
We wanted to postpone it until we decided to do another trip.
I know, but you can't leave it open like that. If we got Southwest to postpone it, when do you want to take the other trip?
In July.
Okay. So you want to go from April to July?
Yes.
Okay, now, the other flight was scheduled to leave in April or July, the original one?
It was supposed to be July of last year.
Okay, well then it shouldn't be an upcharge because you were going to fly in in July, and you want to fly in July again. So it doesn't sound unreasonable. By the way, that's a terrible time to go to Florida, but I don't know. I mean, where were you going? Where are you going in Florida?
Clearwater.
Okay. It's not as bad as the middle, but okay. So listen, man, I think that it would be wrong. You'd be fools to wait. So I wouldn't wait for it to expire. Suze, do we have anyone friendly at Southwest Airlines? You would think after all this time, do we have anyone, no Angel there?
I don't know, Tom.
Listen, I think we should give you to one of our deputies, maybe Deputy Smarty Pants, to do a three-way call and see if you can why they won't delay it and why they say to extend it and let it. Did they say if you let it expire, they will rebook it for you?
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense. I want our Deputy Smarty Pants to hear that for himself. Hold on. Deputy Smarty Pants, he's good at like getting. They're telling him it has to expire, then we'll rebook it. He's saying, I'm afraid to let 8 tickets expire. I'll lose my money. I think she heard me.
No, I didn't hear that, but is he? Is the richest man on earth?
He is. There's that theory.
Who told you that?
So much hidden. We're talking about that on the news this morning. They said he has so much money in different banks all over the world because the oligarch and him gets a percentage of whatever business come into Russia.
Rocky Mountain IV Medics. Oh my goodness, I need to get him into the studio. You know, I get monthly treatment, but I'm thinking about stepping that up a bit, maybe every 3 weeks or so. Rocky Mountain IV Medics.com for your IV therapy, which, by the way, this is really important to let you know. They will come anywhere to you for the same price as you going to an IV bar. So why would you ever take that inconvenience? Just let them come to your house, your office, wherever, your patio, your lobby. You can meet them wherever convenient. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. And it doesn't cost you any more money than it would normally. And hydration therapy is very good for you for any number of reasons. I know I do it. You should too. 720-987-2155. 720-987-2155. Borrowing money is never a walk in the park, but Ideal Home Loans tries to make it as easy as possible with their pre-approval. They'll gather all the documents, do the application and everything before you even start looking for a house. Think about that. Then they approve you, and then you don't have to wait for anything except an appraisal when you go out and find a house. IdealHomeLoans.com, that's what they do for you. They also have other programs for you. Like if you want to do a loan and take cash out to pay off high-interest debt, they can do that. If you want to shorten your term, you can pick whatever term you want. Or you can actually lengthen your term. Or, of course, you can just lower your payment. And then you get an interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years after closing, they refinance you free of charge. And by the way, they'll do that every time you close, you get that 2-year guarantee renewed. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness?
Hey, Tom, do you know why the federal government shut down the monoclonal antibodies?
No, why?
I'm asking.
Well, because they didn't want people doing treatment. They wanted them to get the vaccine. That's what I think.
So you think it's a money thing, or you just think it's...
I don't know why. I know that anything that de-emphasized vaccines were shut down, including social media, anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they, like the viral pill they were talking about.
Right.
That wasn't even talked about till now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just, I'm listening to that guy who caught COVID, but I'm thinking, man, I caught COVID. And I did the antibiotic.
You did it?
Yeah.
And it worked.
24 hours later, I was back up. I was telling
That's
Mark
fucking
that.
amazing. Did you hear that, Mark?
Well, that's the treatment Trump got, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, you had to sit and take it intravenously.
For how long?
For about 2 hours for that bag to empty out. Yeah, it was just crazy. I'm thinking
They dried it up all over those.
they did.
Assholes.
They did.
First of all, they didn't tell anyone about it until some of the media people talked about it, and not many media people talked about it. And then after that, they dried it up.
Right. It took us forever to find somebody that would give that to us. Corruption.
We were talking this morning. They were trying to spend another $10 billion or something on free testing for everybody again. And a lot of the centers, kind of everybody's just like, stop. It's enough. You know, the free mail-in testing thing. You know
that he botched the first time.
Yeah. Well, you know, somebody there's got a piece of that. You know, there's no way that free shit just goes out.
They were sending out the masks.
Yep. Right.
The N95, but they won't tell you the other ones don't matter. They don't fucking work. They just say, well, N95 now. But, you know, the truth is all those kids, all those masked kids wore and everyone else wore it didn't do shit.
Right. And most N95s don't fit right anyway for most people, so they're not working either.
You know, the whole COVID thing was a bunch of shit. We got wrong information from day one. This is right, no, this is wrong. This is right, no, this is... And they would tell us different things on different days.
Right, right.
6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet. I mean, the whole...
And they still have Fauci on the platform. So
and Fauci in the very beginning was saying masks don't work. He was saying that right from the beginning.
And that's the first truthful thing he said.
Only thing.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Hey, it's car day. Don't forget Century RV for your new and used RVs. Great prices on new and used RVs. They're very aggressive in pricing, and also they buy RVs even if you don't want to trade it. But if you do trade it, you get top value. CenturyRV.com, exit 240 and I-25. It's car day, so we talk about motor vehicles, and RVs are fun. It's right on Frontage Road, just south of that 240 exit to Longmont. So go up and then take a right off of exit 240, go right down the Frontage Road less than a quarter mile, and there's CenturyRV.com, CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. Now, Fred says he has some information on Southwest Airlines, and we didn't know why that guy couldn't simply switch since he was delayed from COVID, and they said you have to use it by April. He said, I want to go in July. That's when our original plans were for, and they said, let it expire first, and then we can do it. What's going on, Fred?
With the same thing, my daughter did the same thing as this other guy did. She tried to buy herself a ticket and use it, and they said that she couldn't use her ticket until it expired, and then they'd go ahead and
renew it another 6 months.
And renew it another 6 months.
Why is that? Did it work for her?
No. So she emailed them because I said that's stupid.
Right.
So she emailed. I said email them, and they came back and said they're going to give her $146 dollars toward it, and then call on the other one, and then call them up again after it expires, and maybe they'll help her out there.
What?
I know that doesn't make sense, but that's what they said.
146.
Until it expires.
But that doesn't make sense to me. If it expires, what will stop them from saying tough?
I know. That's what we're worried about. We'll be out of $400.
Okay. See, we need to take your name down now. I want Deputy Smarty Pants to just call them and find out why they're telling people to let their tickets expire. Then they will reissue them. That makes no sense to me. So that's the part I'd like to get clarification on, because now 2 people have been told that. That just doesn't make sense. Mark, what's going on with you? You want to talk about Tundras? What's happening?
Well, I've got a 06 Toyota Tundra SR5. It's a double cab. And I'm just curious of how you're pricing it. I've looked up the KBB on it, and it's about $12,500. But I'm hearing that people are getting a lot more money for their used cars.
Right.
So I'm kind of
Now,
I'm wondering
do you have one? Do you have one to sell, or do you want to buy one?
Well, no, I have one, and I would sell it if I could get a good price.
What
on it.
what year is it?
It's an 06. It's an SR5 double cab.
SR5, okay.
It's got the 4.7 in it, 4-wheel drive. It's in good shape. It's in real good shape, inside and out.
How many miles?
Timing belts on it.
How many miles?
It's got 130. It's got 133 on the mileage, and I did the timing belt about 12,000 miles ago.
Okay. What would that be worth, Ben? What do you want for it?
Well, the Kelly Blue Book says 12.5. I'm wondering what do y'all think what I should ask for it.
Well, you'll get more for that, more than that on that. I mean, what do you think, Rodney?
I got a trade-in value of 93.
Now that's wholesale, by the way, trade-in. But now they hold on. Don't they goose those a little though now?
A little bit to make the deal. We'll definitely do that. I'm seeing 13.5 roughly on that truck.
Not for trade though.
No, this is retail.
Retail.
Right.
13.5. Even now though, with the shortage, it would be 13.5.
It all depends on what it looks like. It's hard to throw a number out without seeing it, but he says it's pretty nice. I don't think it's far out of about 14. I don't think that's out of the norm.
Is it in
I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. So 13.5 or 14. Yeah. Were you thinking of getting more for it?
Well, I just didn't know how they're pricing this stuff. If everybody's willing to throw down extra money, how do you manage that?
Well, some of that, if it's a private,
done in the past.
Mark, if it's a private sale, you just got to feel it out, man. You just have to price it, put it out there, and see what you get. Now, Rodney, they do two ways. They don't just buy from you at wholesale. They also can consign the car.
Okay.
So in other words, they have a consignment program we can talk about next hour on how they do that if you want to hang on. By the way, I want you to all hang on. We'll get right to you and try to help you if we can. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. More coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
First one that pops up was 12.9. I mean, right?
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah. And it's 193. It's a little more miles. It's the SR5, so it's a base truck. So he's probably, I think that's about right. 13, 14. Isn't that weird? 2 years ago he offered him $9,000 and think he's killing it. Now he wants 15.
Right.
Yeah.
That's because everyone's hearing you're paying more, so they want to get more. It's crazy.
It's insane.
I wonder how long this car thing is going to go on like this, though.
Hopefully not too much
as long
longer.
as the chips are a shortage.
I used to down like my sister. She rides a bicycle.
It's been good for us. People are putting a ton of money into the cars. All the beautiful country where she can do it.
She's been riding for the last 12 years. She has not refused to drive a vehicle.
Really?
Yeah.
She must be in excellent shape. She must be in excellent shape. Superwoman.
Pretty tough.
Okay.
My baby sister.
Oh.
She's pretty tough.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been on that bicycle for 12 years. Got a car sitting right out in front and just.
It's like an old Martin Mouse kid. I used to jog all the time, but the ice cubes kept falling out of my glass. He tried a bicycle and kept blowing out his cigarette.
Not only has he not listened,
I remember when she started.
we've just witnessed a dangerous.
There's a lot of places, there's a lot of paths. I mean, if you're looking for them, you can go a lot of places on a bike.
She said now that they got the train in Cali going pretty good in Southern Cal. She says I just, and she took a second job dropping off food to eat on her bike. So she said, well, I just put my bike on the front of the train, ride to the neighborhood that I want to serve.
Really?
Yes!
She's dedicated. Oh my goodness. Dedicated to the cause. Yes.
Not dedicated to her car.
Well, whatever the car. Yeah, good for her.
Just that she puts it on the front of the train, rides over to either West LA or South Beaches, and enjoying the weather, trying to get paid.
More power to her.
Jobs report shows 678,000 jobs
Fixes and flips houses.
President Biden says the latest job report shows the economic activities are working to get Americans back to work. The February job report was better than economists were expecting. Adding 678,000 jobs last month. The unemployment rate is down to 3.8%. The president boasting that since he took office, the U.S. economy has created 7.4 million jobs. In a statement,
I know my insurance guys give me shit on my truck because he was like, why you paying full coverage? It's 2011. F-150. It's not brand new. I like it. You know, I know what it costs to replace this.
So you need to get it full coverage now. I mean, if it was a question before, it's not a question anymore, you know, depending on that year.
Yeah.
My son has one I got to get rid of. I had to fix it up. It stopped on him between here and Arizona going to college. So I have to fix that. But I think I said, dude, you may have, we should just find you another car because the gas prices went up. Was it 25 cents overnight?
It'd be $4 pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
92%? Yep, even those in early stages. This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive results should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy.
You guys called me this morning, so I don't know what that was about. So,
for colonoscopy risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease, and certain hereditary syndromes, or personal or family history of colon cancer. Most insured patients pay $0
It was wrong.
your provider or online prescriber and call what's right for you.
My battle shit. I'm not sure. All right, well, thank you.
J-Hound News Time, 12:03. A Golden High School science teacher has a unique perspective on the situation in Ukraine. Mike Newman is also a lacrosse coach for Team Russia and says his players are in a state of shock.
They're very fearful of what Putin might do. And they say that it's very hard for them to speak out in groups.
Newman has coached the Russian team since 2014. And recently talking to the members of his team, he says they are greatly concerned.
Ukrainian president's turned out to be quite a celebrity, hasn't he?
Did you know he was a comedian?
He was, yeah.
He was a comedian, which is really weird.
The bill would legalize abortion at any stage of pregnancy. The bill, called the Reproductive Health Equity Act, is assigned to the Health and Insurance House Committee, which will take it up next Wednesday. The city and county of Denver's COVID vaccine mandate for all city employees and contractors is coming to an end.
So, you know, at any stage, did you just hear that? They're passing up for any abortion at any stage during the pregnancy. Why don't you just extend that to 2 hours after?
Yeah.
If it's ugly, kill it. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you don't like the way that, yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Sponsored by Discover.
Is that being voted on, or is it?
I think they said that. I don't know. I don't know actually. I just heard about it, but I thought they were.
Good on I-25 either direction between Northland and Centennial. Couple areas of construction, Kipling in Florida, also Wadsworth and 38th Avenue. Watch for construction northbound Santa Fe of Mississippi. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a high of 68 today. Rain switching to snow overnight into Saturday morning. Little snow accumulation, a high Saturday of 40. And then more snow Saturday night and Monday morning.
We've had a great winter.
Yeah.
Weather
we get.
I prefer to have it like this. Every
I like
week,
we get the breaks. Yeah.
A simple gesture of
I
appreciation
love it so
from your
much.
credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year.
Not one of these weirdos that
Exceptionally
looks so
common
like
sense.
Mark.
Learn more at
Every fucking
discover.com/match.
day.
Limitations
Do you
apply.
really though? Come on. You love it.
I don't love it. I like it.
How about the shit?
I like it occasionally. We didn't get
Kid thought
shit
he liked
this
the
year.
winter. He moved back to Albany.
Oh, that's snow.
And he's like, yeah, fucking cost. Yeah, I know. I grew up back there. Because he's never been there before, but his wife's family was there, so they moved back there.
Oh my God.
He's like, it is so freaking cold. I said, yeah, I know.
It sucks.
Yeah, that's a new level there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like Chicago on steroids when it gets cold. That high humidity and cold, and yeah.
I played college ball, and my first game, one of the first early games, we went to Iowa, And, oh my God.
That's a whole other kind of hot in the summer and cold in the winter.
So the first time I didn't want to play. Don't call on me, coach. I'm good, you know. So.
You know, when you grow up there, you don't even notice it. Playing ball in New York, it's just rain, mud, snow. It's just football.
Right,
yeah,
right.
You just get used to it.
And now I'm getting to the point where I understand why people go to the warmer climates.
Oh yeah.
I never really. I said that's kind of. But now that I'm getting.
I'm going to do that. I made up my mind. I'm going to do that. I'm going to sometime soon. I'm going to go away for the most cold months.
Okay.
Just a few months and do broadband into here.
Sure.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now,
Tom Martino. Hey, welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, and to take complaints. 303-713-TALK is our number, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. 30% off, Tom, in the promo code. You know the drill. It's Panacea Life Sciences and Golden for pain, inflammation, anxiety. RealCBDThatWorks.com, including eye serum with CBD and anti-inflammatory properties. People are raving about it. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Hey, well, let's talk about this, Steve. I'm very curious about this RV theft. What's going on, Steve?
So, can you, okay, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I bought a brand new RV. It's a 2021. I took it into Cousin's RV down in Colorado Springs on January 27th. So I hadn't heard from.
Did you say it's a 2021?
It is a 2021 brand new toy hauler.
Wow. And did you buy it from Cousins?
I did not.
Okay. It was there for what reason?
Warranty service, because you only have a year warranty. So I wanted to get everything covered before the warranty went out.
And what happened while it was down there? And where is Cousins located in the Springs?
It's on Platte Avenue.
Okay, so what's going on?
So I take it down there January 27th. And I haven't heard anything. So on the 22nd of February, when I got back from a vacation, 22nd or 23rd, I called them. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Where's my camper? Is it finished? Haven't heard anything. They tell me that they had a break-in last Thursday or Friday, which would have been the 17th, 18th. And I said, oh, well, you need to let me know what's going on.
I'm surprised they didn't call you. So they had a break-in, meaning your RV was broken into, or was it?
Well, no, they had gotten broke into the lot the gated lot. There were two gates that were broken.
And what happened when they broke in?
Well, apparently, I didn't find out till later, but one of their stock units was stolen, and my unit was stolen. But I didn't find out. I didn't find out until the 25th of February, which, if I wouldn't have called, they still wouldn't have known. So,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. They didn't even know until you called?
No, they did not.
They discovered it. Okay, so hold on. That doesn't make them liable. You understand that, right?
I understand that.
But do you have insurance? Do you have insurance on it?
I do.
Listen, by the way, Steve, they suck for this, but man, it's bad form. I mean,
they're definitely negligible, but
they're what?
Basically, they're negligent.
I think they're not negligent in the sense liably negligent for the theft, but they're pretty damn negligent on how they run their operation. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, so they reported theirs gone on the 15th of February. Okay, because they didn't have.
How does this delay listen, let's get right to it. You're upset it took so long. So am I. How does this affect you, the delay?
it's not the delay. They had no idea it was stolen, first of all. Second of all, I found out from the Fountain Police Department, because they're the ones that found it, that there was photos from a tip line of my camper on February 7th. So if they were broke into on February 15th, how did my trailer get...
Well, hold on. Then they lied as to when it was stolen?
Yes.
Why would they lie about it?
Tom, I have no idea.
So hold on. The police
was living in it.
The police found some tweaker living in it?
Okay, this is what happened. There was an aggravated assault on February 25th, and they tracked him down to my trailer. That they got a tip call on February 7th. They didn't have cause to go into private property, but when they were tracking this guy down for the assault,
where'd the photo come from?
Then.
Where'd the photo come from?
It came from, so they could, because it was a tip line, they couldn't give me that, but they gave me the date and the time when that photo was sent.
How is a tip line? Well, when you say tip line, what do you mean the photo was sent? Explain how a photo was sent to a tip line.
Well, maybe it was an email, but it was a tip that came through Fountain Police Department.
All right, Fountain Police found some tweaker living in his RV, and days before that had gotten a tip, right?
Yes.
Okay, and with a picture.
Yes.
Okay, well that sucks, man. And it was days, which proves it was taken days before these jerks said it was.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God! They're not only negligent; they're liars.
Yes. And
so now what? I mean, let's put it this way. I want to take one thing at a time. What do you want from Cousins other than an apology?
No, they've done that. I want them to cover the
additional damage. The additional. Hold on. You might have a case here for that additional damage, because had they discovered it sooner, like they should have. But who's to say that if they reported it sooner, it would have been less damaged?
Nothing.
How badly damaged was it?
Oh my goodness! It's they had moved in, him and his girlfriend and a dog and a kid. It looks like moved in, and they totally trashed it. I had personal property in there that I can't even tell if it's in there or not, because the photos, I went and saw it Tuesday and Wednesday. I took my wife there Wednesday, and she was totally disgusted. There's no way we could use that.
Well, can it be cleaned and repaired or not?
Oh, it probably could for amount of money.
Well, what is your insurance saying?
My insurance doesn't have a problem covering it, but then I have to pay my deductible.
How much?
They cover it. They just told me, well, the camper, the RV itself is $500, and then the personal property is $2,500.
I think Cousins owes you something, because you know what? Normally, here's what I say: crime is crime is crime. They're not responsible for crime, but they kind of are responsible for what I think is negligent entrustment. I mean, they had your damn RV, and had they reported it sooner, maybe it would have made a difference. I don't know how you prove it, but they should make some kind of... Did they offer you anything at all?
Nothing.
Did they say, we're sorry? Okay, I would say I need to talk to someone with more authority. I want something more than an apology.
I did. I talked to Tyler Austin. He's the GM in Colorado Springs. And I kept on asking for, I wanted them to cover it on their insurance or pay my deductible. And he's just sent me a letter just a little bit ago and said that they are not liable for any of it.
Well, they're not liable for theft, but they are liable for what happens after that, in my opinion. Mark, what do you think?
Really, what would you do? Okay, your motorhome is at a place, it's broken into.
I get it.
You know, and you're not told about it for it was 10 days. 10 days, right? Hold on, or more. No, 20 days.
No, more.
No, 20.
Yeah.
20 days. And I think that 20 days made. I think you could make an argument that 20 days made a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to call these jerks.
Oh, I would love that. I mean, honestly.
And he's right. They aren't responsible. They're irresponsible frickin' idiots.
Yes, they are. I would agree. And they've got a location here and a couple in Denver and North.
Hey, I just saw a TV commercial about their big RV sale.
A show. Yes.
They say that the show was canceled, but Cousins has everything on display. Listen, this is downright. I don't want to indict this whole place. We've never got complaints about Cousins before, but this is wrong. No matter what, there's no way that Tyler Austin, the general manager for Cousins RV in Colorado Springs, can be proud of that decision not to give you at least something out of goodwill, because it was missing 20 freaking days before they discovered it. Suze, I want to get our pit bull on it. I'm serious. It was missing 20 days before they even discovered it. And they say we're not responsible. They're right. They're not responsible for the theft. But for having one of their customers' vehicles missing for 20 days, Steve, your insurance company, what do they say? That we'll fix it. You want something for...
They're going to total it.
Are you going to, other than your deductible, if Cousins paid both your deductibles, will you be 100% even?
I would agree to that.
Okay. And that's not unreasonable, for goodness sakes.
No, it's not unreasonable.
What happened to the tweakers?
Okay, so he's in jail, and the girl is still out, but, you know, it's just a wow. I mean, my insurance guys are like, what? Wow.
They weren't even trying to hide. They weren't even trying to hide, bro.
Well, they did remove, they were scraping stickers off, and they were painting. I should show you some of the pictures. They painted the refrigerator. They painted a calendar on the refrigerator with spray paint.
Do you think he stole it, or do you think he bought it from... How do you think he got it?
He said... So I talked to the Fountain Police Department police officer, and he's like, I said, did he say he stole it? He was like, of course not. He's not going to, you know, add another charge, you know. So it's just funny. And you know, I think of it this way, Tom. If I wouldn't have called to check on the warranty service, how much longer would they have known that my trailer wasn't there?
Oh, you mean how much longer would they have been in the dark? Probably for the whole time. I mean, it's just outrageous to me. Cousins RV, Colorado Springs. Boy, do they suck.
Jesus Christ, I would be pissed.
But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates.
You can't help but be pissed at that.
No, it's, you know, it's making a sweetheart deal on a trade-in or something. You know?
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter.
They could say,
but they can come out smelling like a rose and the whole thing. It's like, you know what? Here's a new one for you.
Susan, Deputy Smarty Pants, maybe he can work out a deal where he can buy a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies.
That name says it all. They help you plan for your retirement, but when they say planning center, they also help look over your entire plan while it's in place. And we mean more than just investments. This father, son, and son-in-law team, a trusted family-owned team, they really make sure that you are covered in a comprehensive way. That means your investments, your taxes, your Social Security, your Medicare and supplements, any other insurance, possible annuities, long-term care, and even estate planning. They have the big picture for you and keep you on track with retirement planning. And here's what I like to say. When you have them as quarterbacks,
They can coordinate it all, and they're totally transparent with how they're charged, how they make their money with commissions and everything. You can meet as many times as it makes you comfortable, either by Zoom, or they'll come to you personally, or you can go to them. rpcenter.com. Look them up, rpcenter.com. 970-663-3211. The people I trust. 970-663-3211. And speaking of estate planning, one of the people they refer you to, BlakeHarrisLaw.com, because Blake Harris will answer all of your questions free of charge and only charges flat rates for what you actually need in an estate plan, which might be just a will or a will and a trust or some beneficiaries' deeds to leave some real estate. Whatever you need, first ask your questions free of charge, and you'll get free legal advice from someone we know and trust, BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and that's 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Facing a job loss? Considering a severance package, or what to do with your 401k. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I can help. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
It's replacement windows season. If your windows are drafty, difficult to operate, or costing you money on your energy bills, it's time to replace them. Champion Windows is here to help. Right now, Champion is offering buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Champion builds our own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose.
I went to a place the other day that I had to during the pandemic.
Our install team manages
They required that.
and it's all backed by our lifetime guarantee.
They didn't even
Turn
know
your
what I
home
was.
into your dream home with more living
The way I
space
looked.
in a new Champion sunroom, or enhance your curb appeal with new siding.
Without the mask.
30% off.
But you know, I've had that happen where we had a guy come here one time that I had been going to from Colorado Pain Care without a mask. And I didn't know who he was. And I said, we ought to talk to that guy, Devin, that did my physical therapy. He said, I'm Devin. It was
I
that
remember
funny.
that day, yeah. Well, it's kind of like seeing your dentist in the grocery store, and you've never seen him, without a mask on. Yeah. We were in Texas, and everybody wears masks out there. Really?
No. Still?
Oh, yeah.
I heard they don't give a shit in Texas.
I guess no. I think
When
they're
were you
the
there?
highest debt. This was Thursday through
Last week?
just this week. Yeah.
And they were wearing fucking masks?
Yeah, they were. Like I said, they're like number 1 or number 2 in the amount of deaths on COVID. Yeah.
In Florida, nobody wears
I was shocked. I was literally shocked.
Did you have to wear them?
Well, I guess because of the stigma, we wore them. You know what I mean? We wore them. We went to my vet last week. They weren't in a mask. So don't you have a mask?
Fuck you! Where is that?
We're still doing this?
Where are they?
Like,
I would have said,
I was
at this point, I'm
I
like,
didn't even bring
kiss
it.
my ass.
I didn't even bring it.
Kiss my ass.
I'm Tom Martino. If you or a loved one are facing DUI charges, you need the best representation possible. Call the defense attorney I know and trust, Joe Lazaro. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazaro. 303-429-6200.
You know what? Give me the VIN.com is America's best car buyer because we've made it so fast, so easy, and so darn reliable. Give me the VIN.com. Sell us your car. Give me the VIN.com.
They started going to that because they can't get the cars at the auction. Yeah. Can't buy them anymore hardly. You get a lot more miles on them down there, typically? Or
So you went down there to the auction?
No, we just went to hang out for a second. Our daughter's in Houston, so we wanted to go see her.
What's she doing in Houston?
In their nursing degree.
Oh, cool.
This is Clay Travis. Here's what's trending from the
That's a tough place in the summer.
Houston.
Nice job.
I used to spend a lot of time in Houston with my radio affiliate, big one down there. 50,000 watt station. But what a city. Flyovers and ramps. Oh my God. It's intimidating.
And don't miss one.
No.
Don't
God
miss one.
damn it.
Because the way back is way around.
Even back years and years and years ago, they had a giant gay population in part of town. Beautiful part of town. But it was all like, yeah. That city was way ahead of its time as far as they didn't seem backward.
No, it's beautiful. I mean, some parts of it's pretty nice.
Oh my God, they had restaurants out there. Those great restaurants and shit. I like the city actually. I just don't like it in summer.
Yeah, summer's true.
I got off the airplane. My jeans were dry when I got on the airplane. It was so
Hi,
congested,
Tom
so I
Martino,
got
your
out.
troubleshooter. 713 Talk, 713-8255. So anyway, Steve, I want to put Deputy Smarty Pants on this to call Cousins RV. I think, if anything, they should say, listen, you know what, at least we're going to give you a screaming deal on a new one or something. But to say we're not responsible for theft, they're right. But they are responsible for not even knowing it was gone for 20 days. Suze.
I sent you pictures, Tom, on that.
Oh, that must. Hey, let's get Talib to put them up on our feed.
They're right in help, Talib.
Yeah, my gosh. Hold on. Oh, my gosh. He's right. They were tweakers. Oh, my God. Look what they drew on the refrigerator. I can't believe this. Holy crap. Oh, my goodness gracious. We're going to put this up on our feed, ladies and gentlemen, of all ages. Let's talk now to Nathan about Super 8. What's going on, Nathan?
Hey, Tom. So I basically had an issue. I was on your show, I don't know, like a few summers ago when they had all that corruption going on at the Howard Johnson Hotel, and they were stealing people's deposits. Remember the Asian
Yes,
lady?
yeah, no, I remember that. Yes. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, Wyndham struck again. I was staying at the Super 8 last night because my power got shut off in my house it was just an error, my debit card. Anyway, long story short, my power was shut off. I needed somewhere to stay. I live across the street from the Super 8, so I went and I go check in the Super 8, and I don't know who they were trying to intimidate me as I was checking in. It was ridiculous. You know, they said, you can't smoke in the room. I said, if I was going to smoke in the room, I'd have got a smoking room. I don't even smoke. And they said, okay, well, I'm sure you don't, or your dog doesn't, or whoever goes and stays in the room with you. I'm like, is this how you treat your customers? I
mean, what? Now tell me, what was it about the way you look or something, Nathan? What do you think?
I have no idea. I went down and I talked to the manager the next day, like this morning, the one who, this gets even better. But so I went down and talked to her the next day because I dealt with her before, and she told me she looked on the thing, and I guess last summer I had rented 2 rooms there. I let one of my friends stay in the other room. She needed somewhere, she needed a room. She just didn't have a credit card, so I let her stay in there, and her boyfriend smoked in one of the rooms, so they took $100 from me. I'm cool on that. I'm like, I was mad at her. I'm not mad at the hotel. They smoked cigarettes in the room. That's fair. They told me they'd take the deposit. They took it. So that I'm okay with that. But so I guess the manager said that's probably the reason why they were jerks to me today, last night.
Yeah.
I said, but that's still not acceptable. You're not trying, you shouldn't intimidate people. And so they went and they checked the room, and in the room, I could send you pictures of this room. This room was atrocious. Like, I can't believe, I've stayed in rooms on East Colfax before 10 years ago that looked better than this room does. And this is a Wyndham hotel, it's a major chain. And I currently work for a hotel right now. I work a night auditor at a nice hotel, but, this room was like $60-70 a night.
Hey, Nathan, what brought you to a Super 8 to begin with?
Okay. My power was out at my house. My power, and it's right across the street from my house. So I said, it was cheap. It was, I just needed somewhere for the night so they could get the power on in the morning.
Right.
And because it takes 24 hours to get the power on when it, whatever. But so when I go down there, I go to my closet. They said you smoked in the room. I said, how did I smoke in the room? Someone had, and I should have taken a picture of it. I took a picture of everything else, but the smoke detector, somebody had put a green bag around the smoke detector. So they
well, that's because they were smoking.
Yeah, someone was smoking in the room. Whoever rented the room before me, and so that was I guess to them that was evidence. They didn't smell like smoke.
Well, hold on. Did they end up charging you for smoking?
Yeah, they took the $100 from me. Refused to give it back to me. So I was down. I said, you guys need to give me my money back. She said, we're not giving you your money back. So it caused a little thing. I said, well, I'm not leaving without my money. So the lady said she's going to call the cops on me. I said, well, you call the cops. You guys are stealing from me.
So how did it end up?
Well, she ends up, I said, well, I'm not leaving here without my money. She said, you're going to leave right now. She pulled a can of Bear Mace out on me, pointed it at me.
Holy crap.
Told me to leave the hotel. Yeah. I'm like, I'm a diamond member at Wyndham. I stay at Wyndham. I stayed at Wyndham a lot. So I have, I'm not just some average.
So what happened then?
I left the hotel. The lady pointed a can of Bear Mace at me, telling me to get out of the hotel. So I live across the street. My power's back on. I went back home, and I called the Wheatley Police Department. They said they'd have someone get back to me. And so I called Wyndham, the 800 customer care number. They told me there's nothing they can do about it. They said, we can't do anything about anything. We can't get you your money back. I'm like, then what's the point of having a customer care?
Are you? And you swear you did not smoke?
I swear, hand to God, I don't smoke cigarettes. Never smoked a cigarette in there. I haven't smoked a cigarette.
Well, I wouldn't let it go. Did you do it by credit card or check or cash?
It was a cash. It was a cash. I went in there with cash. I paid.
Why does anyone? Do people really count out cash? I mean, God.
I don't know. I had an issue with my debt. That was the whole reason why I was staying in the hotel, because I had an issue with my credit card, and I had to have it replaced because I had my credit card number stolen by someone, and so I had my debit card replaced, and so that lapsed the payment on my Excel bill. So that's because I had to have that canceled. So I had my new credit. No, I was waiting for my new debit card.
You sound like a bad country western song, bro.
Man,
you had nothing but.
I've been having the blues lately.
If there was no bad luck, you'd have none.
That's what I'm saying, man. But
God,
I just thought it was ridiculous.
What do you want to?
On a customer.
I know, no, it sounds ridiculous. But what's really funny is you run across. You're the one that reports to me this crap. That last time when you reported that woman was stealing deposits, I thought you were lying. I mean, no, not lying. I thought you were exaggerating. And sure as crap, man, we got call after call after call. Every single person that stayed at that Hojo's, every one of them was told they did something to the room.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's a scam going on here.
That could be. It very well could be. I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, let's put the word out. Listen, if we hear, maybe you discovered it again. So if we hear from anyone else saying it happened to them, that would be something. Now, we have the president of Cousins RV. Now, is this the president meaning of the whole thing, or is this the GM from the Springs?
He called in and said he's the president of Cousins RV, Tom.
Let me bring him up here. Mark, could you look up Jim Humble, Cousins RV? Okay, Mr. Humble, I'm Tom Martino. Are you the president or the GM down there, or what's your position, sir?
No, I'm the president of Cousins RV. I have 4 stores here in Colorado.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you getting to us. We have a very simple issue, man. And again, I made it clear we don't get complaints about Cousins, so I didn't have a lot to say about the whole operation. But that one in Colorado Springs, apparently, according to this caller, they did not even know his RV was missing until he called. And he has proof from Fountain Police that it was missing since the 5th of February, and he called on the 25th. And that's when they said, and they so it was missing 20 days.
Yeah, no, listen, obviously it's super, super unfortunate that this took place. We have several hundred RVs, trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, at every location. Missing one unit, sometimes it's, you just don't know, right? And I have new units that in inventory that will move between stores, and sometimes those get missed too on where a particular product is. And, unfortunately in this situation, I've been in the business for 30 years. We went out to go do work on the customer's unit and realized, wait a minute, where's this unit at? It wasn't like there was alarm bells and fences were knocked down and we could obviously see that a theft took place. It was one of those things.
Okay,
that we went out
get
there
it.
to do work, and
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. But I guess the thing is, his insurance is taking care of this as far as the bulk of it, but he has some deductibles that are sizable he wouldn't have. But here's his argument. If truly there was some way of knowing it had been missing, maybe he could have prevented a lot of this damage. But anyway, what he was asking for is something, and the GM tells him we're not responsible for theft, which of course we know you're not, and we're not trying to make you responsible for the theft. But I would think something of goodwill, especially maybe if he gets this insurance money and is looking for another RV, you can give him a screaming deal.
No, listen, I think at the end of the day, the customer was upset with us and wanted us to put this onto our insurance. And it's not, our insurance won't cover damage.
But he's changed since then.
Theft.
He's changed since then. He said doing a deductible, covering it in like a great discount or something. I mean, a real one, not one where it's marked up and marked down and all that. But
of course,
he's saying if you could help him out, I think it would be a great gesture. I mean, you have to admit it is very unusual.
Yeah, it stinks. It absolutely stinks, and I have no problem helping him with his deductible, and it would be more. I think, as he said, his deductible was $500. there was some question with
He said something. He said there was a $500 one for the RV, and then $2,500 for personal property. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Two separate insurance claims. I have no problem if he wants us to, reimburse him $2,500 or put $2,500 towards another unit. I'd be more than happy. Listen, if he wants to buy another unit, I would be grateful if he would give us that opportunity. I'd tell him what it is.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We'll put him in touch with you. Thank you. Yeah. No, seriously, we will. That's great.
Have him call me directly.
All right.
And I will work it out with him and make it right with him.
All right, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Thank you, Jim Humble, President Cousins RV in Colorado. By the way, Suze, if you could get that his number off the air. Hold on, Jim, we appreciate it. And then we'll get that number and take care of that. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, she went to get staged probably. That's more important.
Now,
could you ask me to hold it? She'll be right back.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
A few pockets of slow and go traffic, seeing that on I-25 through downtown and on I-70 just east of I-25. But for the most part, things looking good on the metro area highways. Medical calls.
Did you guys get utility bills lately? Yeah, are they going way up?
Yeah. Our shop, 6,800, was 1,200. The same.
Build back better, brother. That's all I have to say. Did you hear that speech? How great we're doing? Yeah. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't realize how great we're doing until you heard that speech.
I was ashamed. Does he have to give a catchphrase to everything he says?
I know. I
started laughing.
And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year.
Blamed everything on.
Learn more.
Why are we dividing?
Empower Reverse Mortgage. I am so happy to have them on board because reverse loans are so important. Listen, shop around. We have a few reverse mortgage places, but I know Mark, and I know he'll take care of you. Mark Massey and his team. Listen, with reverse mortgages, you can get lump sums, monthly payments, or you can get a line of credit. And here's what I love about Empower Reverse. They're there to help you. You can even purchase with a reverse loan and not have any payments. Call up Mark, and I'm sure you'll agree he is such a great guy to deal with. Someone I know and trust. Get a quote. Find out if a reverse loan is right for you. Then get the right counseling and the right deal. 833-502-3100. 833-502-3100. Okay. And when we're talking about loans, what about your regular refinancing or your pre-approvals when you're going out to buy, when you want to refinance to take cash out, or when you want to lower your monthly payment to get a lower rate? Don't forget Ideal Home Loans. The direct mortgage lender with no middlemen deals directly with you. They control the entire process. They can do it online or on the phone, and they can structure the loan just for you, including the interest rate guarantee. So if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge without you even having to ask. And every 2 years, you have that. So every time you close, you get a 2-year warranty. And every time you close, you get a new 2-year warranty. That is idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000, 867-7000. All right. Homevestors is a way to sell your house without real estate people. Now, of course, you know I love real estate people. But here's the deal. You may have some deferred maintenance. You may need to get out of town quickly. You don't want to wait for someone's loan approval. You don't want to wait for someone to kick the tires. You don't want to have to fix things. Here's the deal. You don't want to wait for closing. Then Homevestors might be for you. Homevestors will make you an offer on the spot, write you a check thereafter, and you decide if you want to do it. It's that easy. And you know what? It's just a phone call, no obligation, so you're crazy not to find out. 800-44-BUYER, 800-44-BUYER.
How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look
Visit my website now.
Is that what that was? That was a job call.
Free portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, CANDIER.com. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer, FINRA SIPC, investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor.
Are you transmission or you do it all?
General, we don't do a lot with rebuilding transmissions anymore, mainly replacing.
Okay.
Straight journeys and stuff. Okay. Because the CVTs are starting to take over.
They don't rebuild those, right?
Okay. Now we'll get, Nissans we get right from Nissan a lot of times. That's the best way to get them.
Are you messing with anything from LKQ or you just?
LKQ's not bad. Yeah, I just had one issue with an engine from them that I may probably not use them for rebuilt engines again.
Oh, they rebuilt?
LKQ
still?
Health and wellness,
Okay.
modern medicine, or personal hygiene. Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Welcome to the Casa Catra. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, my, is that a real Picasso?
Don't touch it.
It's covering a hole in the drywall.
Yeah, my plumber repiped the house. I had leaks and low water pressure, but he doesn't fix drywall.
And behind the stand goes
Don't touch it.
another hole.
Yeah.
Why didn't you call Repipe Specialist?
Repipe what?
Repipe Specialist. They can repipe your whole house in 1 or 2 days, so no more leaks or low water pressure. And then they'll offer to fix the hole so it's ready to paint. And for about half the price of a plumber.
Got leaks or low water pressure? Call Repipe Specialists. They'll repipe your whole house in 1 or 2 days with PEX tubing and then offer the option to complete the job by repairing the drywall.
Oh, frustrating, isn't it? Yeah. I'd cover that hole with a Monet.
Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down with no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910. Call today, 303-228-2910, or visit repipe.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHAL.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. James, what's going on in court, man? What's happening?
And the victim's sister happened.
Yeah, but James, is this a felony domestic violence you're charged with or misdemeanor? That's major. That's major. But let me, okay, first let me ask you this, okay? Is this a mistake you made that you're getting help for, or is this something, are you claiming you are falsely accused? What is it?
No. Well, the domestic did happen. It actually happened.
Okay.
It didn't happen the way they say it.
Okay.
The victim is actually helping.
But usually, well, here's the problem sometimes with domestic violence. The victims do turn out to, like, backtrack, and they're used to that. And that doesn't necessarily mean it was less than you thought or more than you thought. It just means that sometimes, unfortunately, victims, they start feeling guilty themselves, and they shouldn't. But here's what I want to know, though. This is really important. For you to have an F4, domestic violence, there had to have been injuries that were visible and were verified.
They say, yeah, they said they found a scratch. There was like a scratch on her arm.
Okay, so anyway, you were charged with a felony.
Charged.
Got it. And did you plead guilty?
I'm facing 30 years right now.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Yes.
You were charged with felony domestic violence. Now, what I want to know is this: is it still ongoing?
Yes. I have court on the 17th.
Okay. And are you planning on pleading or some kind of?
I'm in a place where I don't even know what's going on. I have been through 3 lawyers. They keep replacing my lawyers based on conflict of interest. That they keep talking to the victim's sister. You know what I mean? Like they keep talking, and they're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to talk to the victim and them. So they keep.
Okay. So hold on. You have public defender?
Yeah. Well, I had a public defender first. She got conflict of interest, so they replaced her. I got alternative defense counsel. The first lawyer I got, Cassandra McKenzie. She got replaced for the exact same thing.
Okay, so hold on. But here's what is your plan? Is your plan to take the rap and do the time and to?
I was gonna take responsibility, and because like my first lawyer said I was probation eligible. I was gonna take responsibility, do the probation, do the counseling. Then they come back and they're like a cap of 10 years, and then they come back with like a cap of 16, and now they're like they're removing all deals off the table, and they're like go to trial without the victim. I'm like, my lawyer is basically saying they can't even do that, but I mean everything's getting pushed through. And like
okay, so hold on. So why do you think that's discrimination? It's not unusual, man. When you have a felony domestic violence, it's not unusual to have jail time. It's not unusual.
I know, but I'm not getting to talk. Like I'm not like the discrimination.
Well, that's what trials for. That's what trials for. You get to talk if they want to make a deal, but are you saying that your attorney can't get you a pretrial conference?
My attorney's the one that's telling me I'm being discriminated against.
But what do you mean by what does that mean? Discriminated for what reason are you?
Okay,
I mean
I'm trying to get to that.
Tell me the reason for discrimination.
Okay, when I first went to court on my bond hearing, they let her sister speak. I don't know why, but they let her sister speak, which is the officer, and she basically made a comment that's not true at all. She said I was from the Sinaloa cartel. I was born in Mazatlan, okay? I was born in Mexico. I'm a U.S. citizen. I have no gang affiliation at all. Like, never had a violent crime, any of that. So she made this comment, and they just going forward with this. They won't investigate it. There's no backing. I mean, like literally, my bond was $200,000 cash only for F4 domestic.
Well, are you still in jail?
No, I bonded out.
Okay, so hold on now. James, hold on. So you're going to be facing a trial. Why don't you take it all the way through trial? That's your right.
Because I don't have a lawyer. I don't have any kind of representation.
They have to provide you an attorney if you can.
I understand, but my reason for my call is this. I need help. I need someone I can talk to about my case where they can look at it.
All right, Joseph
and tell me what's going on.
Joseph Lazara you can call. But can you pay for an attorney if you need one?
Man, I've been in jail. I was in jail since last March. I got out. I'm on maximum home confinement. They won't even let me go to work.
All right, hold on. Just hold on. Just wait a sec. We'll try to get Joe on. Hold on.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Discover.
I-25 traffic a little heavy through downtown, but no other big problem spots on I-25. And our metro area highway is accident-free right now. There is some construction slowing northbound Wadsworth at 38th, also along northbound Santa Fe at Mississippi. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Expect a high of 68 today, but then rain moves in tonight, switching to light snow overnight with little to no accumulation. A high tomorrow of 40. And then Saturday night.
I mean, felony domestic violence is serious shit. Oh, that's not even a good fucking phone number.
Real credit card questions require real people. Someone who understands your issues and works to resolve them with you. That's why Discover offers helpful U.S.-based representatives. Available 24/7. Discover. Exceptionally common sense.
Public insurance adjusters of Colorado
are there to protect you. I'm going to give you contact information, and I urge you to contact them if you have any insurance claims whatsoever. Why is that? Because you can't count on your insurance company to treat you fairly with any claim, whether it be with the local fires or the fringe damage of fire, soot, smoke, all of that. Or maybe you even had a local problem with a kitchen fire. Or how about water pipe breaks or water freezes or wind or hail damage, whatever it is. Even if a claim has been closed, you can have them back. You can open that claim and have them fight for you. Call for details. They will look at any claim free of charge. COClaims.com. COClaims.com. 720-715-0000. If you're looking to sell old jewelry, mismatched earrings, tangled messes, old watches, coin collections, in other words, precious metals, not for the jewelry part, but for the metals, there's a local jeweler who's been here 40 years, honorable, straightforward, will take a look, weigh it, and pay it. DavidEllisJewelry.com. 3rd and Clayton, someone you can trust. DavidEllisJewelry.com. So, whatever it is, if it has metal in it, silver, gold, titanium, platinum, give them a call. 303-322-8779. If you're not sure, he'll test it. 3rd and Clayton, 303-322-8779. DavidEllisJewelry.com. You hear me say this? Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. What makes it ideal? First and foremost, if you need a loan, call them up. They're direct mortgage lenders. They'll answer all your questions. They'll even take a look at your package if you have a loan in process somewhere else, because you're not tied to that lender until closing. And Ideal Home Loans will be transparent on whether or not you have a good deal or what they can do for you. They usually have lower rates. They usually have lower costs. They usually can help you with the pre-approval especially, which is like a cash deal. If you're out shopping, you're already approved. The money's set aside for you. All you need is a home and an appraisal. So give them a call, 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. That's 303-867-7000.
Everyone knows drinking and driving is against the law and extremely dangerous. If you've been drinking, you can easily make a bad decision to get people to move. If you're going out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and plan on drinking, keep yourself and others safe by finding a sober ride home.
So this guy, mountain line is in the state of Sinaloa. I know this. Somebody popped $200K to get him loose.
Yep.
He's on the phone talking to us.
Yep. That's what I got too.
It's like I can.
Because that's what Tom was saying. He bonded out. I said, cash only means no bond. That's what I heard.
Somebody popped $200K to get that dude loose.
Yeah, but if you're going to come up with $200K to get out, you can't afford a lawyer.
That's my question.
And you've been through 3 of them?
Who popped $200K? He didn't call Mark. Mark didn't return.
Mark charges too much for collections and everything. It is Wisdom. Okay. Mark, are you working on a project? You've been so quiet over there.
Yeah, about 10 projects.
Okay. I think Bitcoin can't decide what it wants to do. I mean, this yo-yo of shit. I mean, where do you do anything right now? Where's it at now? Just scraping 40. It's down 20. Yeah, it's down 2,200 bucks today.
Still moving sideways.
Unless you're like Pelosi, you would have invested in military shit.
She loves me not.
It's like this roller coaster thing is good. A little bit of optimism, you know.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. James, I'm going to
try to get our criminal defense attorney on, Joe Lazzara, in the next hour. Just hang on. It's only going to be a few minutes, and then we're going to try to get him on. Meanwhile, Smarty Marty's on the phone. Smarty Marty Pants. He's a deputy Smarty Pants. And by the way, the Southwest Airlines issue was simply this. He could not travel because of COVID. They gave him an extension until April of this year. He can't go until July. And he wanted to know, could he get those 8 tickets extended? And they told him on the phone, you have to let them expire first. And then we will issue a new date, which doesn't sound right to me. I just asked Smarty Marty to find out, why is that a policy, if it is. Smarty Marty, what did you find out? Sir, is he there?
Here.
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Reason that I asked about the policy, they said that's just the way the computers are set up.
Oh.
But in my opinion, Tom, they don't have to do that. I mean, that's something extra they offer, because not all airlines will extend the time frame. They're allowing it to extend with a $100 fee. But I asked about this particular case, and in this case, they could have gotten their refund because, according to Southwest changed the flight once. And once they change the flight, you have an option of getting your money back or rebooking at no extra charge, right? You could rebook any flight that's available.
Right.
Okay, because that's happened to me.
Okay.
So in this, according to Southwest, that's what happened. They canceled this flight. They alerted the consumer. Consumer chose to rebook. Once you rebook, you lose the option to get your money back. So they rebooked actually a couple of times, according to Southwest. But I did ask to speak to the escalation department, and I'm going to do that. They're going to call me back to get a favor, to ask for the favor.
But right now, though, are they saying you can rebook this one?
Right now, the policy of Southwest, and I've experienced it flights, is that you can get your travel funds extended for 1 year from booking date, not travel date, from the booking date. So in this case, they booked in late April.
You're right.
2020.
But can he get? But if he pays $100, can he get it done again?
No, yes, but after the date expires, he has to wait till April 29th. And I asked for the logic. I really asked for the logic, and they couldn't give me the logic.
I understand. But you know what? So the most he's facing is $800 at $100, I assume, per ticket. But we'll wait till you hear from Escalation Department. More coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
So I wonder where Joe Lazzara is.
Sinaloa does have plenty of money.
I'm sure they do.
Rooms of it, stacked 4 feet high, the width of the room wide.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Cash in Sinaloa.
Oh, this guy, James, saying that his girlfriend's sister claimed he's cartel.
Oh, okay.
And that's why they're busting his balls so bad.
He sounds like a nice guy to me.
Mm-hmm.
She just received a couple lumps.
He says, I was born in Mazatlan. Like that's not Sinaloa.
Oh, wow.
I know when I first started working for the phone company, before I got into their technical side, I had to get them to let me in the door at all, period. But my first year, I spent making what's called messenger calls to different parts of Mexico. So you call down to a toll station You tell the operator at the toll station who you want to talk to, and if you know their address, where they live. If you don't know their address, you just tell the operator that they're well known. And if they actually do know the person or know where they live, they'll tell you how long it'll be before they'll go get them and bring them back to you so they can talk on the phone. So we sit there with these tickets and wait for that amount of time, and then you call back and the person is supposed to be there and you connect them together. Wow. But I started wondering, while I was making these calls, what the heck is going on down here? Why are we calling all these people who don't technically have an address, but they'll come to the phone station, get on that phone, okay, have their conversation.
Well, what conversation are you having with them?
I'm not having any conversation with them.
Oh, you're just facilitating the call.
I'm facilitating the call.
I got you.
I'm facilitating the call.
Is Castle Pines a fucking city, guys?
I don't think so.
Like
I
its
don't
own
think
zip
it
code?
is either.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just the section
It's
of
not even a
Castle
real
Rock.
fucking address.
South America's got a whole.
It's not even a real address. He's got, I don't even know how you do a background on him. The castle, it says Castle Pines. Maybe he means Castle Rock.
There was an outfit that used to be online called Poker Stars, and you used to have to send money down to somewhere in Brazil or somewhere, and it was a Hokiest thing. Where you just go to Western Union.
No, it is the city of Castle Pines.
Cool.
Really?
So
It
you
is
send
a fucking
4,
city.
5, 6, whatever you're gonna put in your account.
We've lived in both towns. I never thought they were different.
Something.
Because they're right
It is
back
a city.
Just send it to Caracas is where it was. And you're just like, dude, I'm just like the dumbest person in the world for doing this. And sure as shit, 30 minutes later, you log back in, and your account has the deposit in it. Like, how do they manage this?
I can't believe that's a
Trust
fucking
control.
city.
When they got busted because they had a bank in California they were running, because I had won some money and I cashed out, and I was kind of like, I wonder how they're going to pay me. And they, so I just cashed out, and a week later, I got a check from a bank in Walnut City, California. Oh, hi, Walnut. And then they got busted. Because that was before online gambling was legal.
Now the whole country's open.
Yeah.
To play.
Yeah. Yeah, because all the, what is the one that just reopened up on the hill that has a big sports book now in it too? Monarch. Yeah, Monarch just reopened. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that.
580 hotel.
Yeah,
suites.
Built that. We went up there for dinner or something. It's nice.
We used to go up once in a while because they had, before COVID, they had a seafood buffet, crab legs,
right?
Stuff like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, my girlfriend can't go anywhere near a casino. Doesn't have an off switch.
Russia's closing in on third nuclear facility. Does Europe have nuclear? Do we have nuclear power in the U.S.?
Florida's got quite a few. Yeah.
In Colorado?
Not in Colorado. But
I think Fort Pierce had a big nuclear plant.
I was driving to Atlanta and drove back.
It's on
nuclear facility
the East Coast. My folks have been in Fort St. Lucie over there. Their power's
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I didn't get close enough, and nobody told me. But I could see the cooling towers and stuff like that, and I'm like, ooh, that's a
Wait, we had one in Colorado. What was the name of it?
Yeah.
St. Vrain? No, is that here?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
I went to give a talk one time at this big company that staffed St. Vrain. I think it was nuclear power. And I what did I do? I did something funny with some, oh shit, something that glowed under black light. When I turned on the black light, my face glowed, and I said, hey, you guys, of course I believe you guys that there's nothing, whatever. It was fun.
One time I gave a talk to the Automobile Dealers Association, a big fucking crowd.
Here or Vegas?
Here. Bill Barrow was the president, and I said, Bill gave me this beautiful leather jacket from you guys. I really love it. And I turned around, and there's a big target on the back.
True crime isn't always about mayhem and murder. Sometimes it's just...
It was so nice of him.
Take a deep dive into the absurd side of criminality. Tales of stupid capers and idiotic cons that are 99% murder-free and 100%
Jim was on the board, owner of JFR.
Of the Automobile Dealers Association. I don't even know who's on it. Colorado Automobile Dealers Association. It was CADA. And Bill Barrow was the president for so long. But that was years ago. I totally lost touch with him. I was... Join us weekdays at 2 p.m. right here on 630 KM.
Is this a power, like, I mean, did he open this, like, last week?
Yeah, or 2 weeks ago or whatever. He was in the business, but Empower's ran.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. I'm here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. This hour brought to you by Harris Family Law. You know, whenever you're facing divorce, separation, child custody, it's a really trying time, and what Harris tries to do is take the heat and the conflict out of it by doing collaborative law. That's really important. They look for other attorneys who do it as well, or they talk to the other attorneys about doing it, which means nothing is filed with the courts. Everything's discussed out of court to keep prices down. Then they also do unbundled services so they can handle one issue for you rather than the whole thing. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. Good people. These attorneys are very smart, and they all have different specialties. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. Welcome to the show. James, I talked to a criminal defense attorney. He's not quite ready. He can't come on. James, if you don't get a public defender, you're looking at $5,000 to $10,000. That's just prep, not including the trial. It could be as much as $15,000, possibly 20. Now that's, by the way, that's not that bad, but trust me, it can be way more. But this is a felony domestic, which almost always has jail time. So I don't know why you were even told you. See, I think you were misled from the beginning, thinking.
I wasn't, though. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't. Like, I was told by my lawyer that I was probation eligible.
Well, I'm saying you were misled. Maybe you weren't. I'm not sure. I don't know if you are or not, but maybe you weren't. And maybe now that you're finding out the truth, you're thinking you're being gamed when really you were never eligible for probation. I don't know.
I mean, my lawyer's telling me that I'm being treated different and being discriminated against. The lawyer that's helping, she says that I'm being discriminated against, but everybody that I try to turn to try to get insight.
What does that mean, discriminated against, though? I don't get it. Because you're black? Because you're white? Because you're Hispanic? Because you're what?
It's because they say I'm Hispanic from Sinaloa, and they're treating me like I'm from the cartel. Like my bond is so high, they're like adding, they're just adding so many charges for a domestic.
Wait. How many? What are you charged with exactly? How many charges?
I just I got out. I bonded out in October. Okay.
What are you charged with, James? You said so, James. James, no, you can't just talk, actually, because I'm asking questions. Then you can just talk all you want. How many charges are you facing?
I don't know. I don't know right now. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what's going on really in my trial, because I've had literally since I've got out one meeting with the appointed lawyer. Like I don't even get to talk to her really. You know what I mean? So I don't even know what's really going on in my case. Like I just know that like today I got a call today. And they told me that they took the offer off the table, and I'm getting a new charge for stalking. I'm like, I've been on ankle bracelet on home confinement since I got out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
well, hold on. Were you talking to her though? You said she was cooperating. Were you talking to her?
I have not talked to her. She just on her own has been trying to. I mean, she's filed motions to withdraw complaints. She's filed motions to try, like she talked to the victim's advocate. They're not listening to her. They're not even treating her like a victim. We have a 1-year-old daughter, and they won't like. She tried to file to remove the restraining order so I can see my daughter, and the lawyer I had on my case at the time sabotaged that, like literally sabotaged that, and then got me to have a new case.
Hey, James, sometimes when the victim tries to cooperate, they think it's coercion and they won't allow it. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying sometimes they suspect that, and they don't want the victim being pressured, and that's what they feel maybe. But here's the thing. What I would suggest, and I don't know if you have money for a consultation, you should call. We have an attorney you can call for a consultation to get here's what you can do. Even if you only pay for an hour, or maybe he does the free initial consultation, then you pay for an hour. Tell him you want just the rundown on the case, what you face, and what he thinks is the best course of action. You're allowed to get outside counsel, even if you have a public defender, but you have to get information, and if that's what you need, I know Joe Lazara can get it for you. He really can.
Joe Lazara?
Yeah, we can put you directly in touch with him.
Oh, that would be great.
And he will at least get you information so you know exactly what you're facing and what they're alleging. Even if they think you're part of a cartel, that can't be brought up for sentencing if you're not you can't be charged for being part of a cartel because first of all, being part of a cartel. Listen, being part of a cartel in and of itself isn't breaking the law. I mean, even if you have family in the cartel, what's breaking the law is taking part in the cartel's actions that are illegal. They can't
have no affiliation.
I get it. Like, what I'm trying to tell you is it doesn't matter. They have to prove that. That's not part of this case. I think you're overthinking it. I think they're not allowed to even consider it. And the judge...
You're saying exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying I need help because it's happening. It's happening. I know that they can't do that, but it's happening, and I need help. Okay. And I'm like, everybody keeps telling me that they can't do it, that they shouldn't do it, but I'm like, there's nowhere to turn for me to complain about it or get some kind of help about it. But it's happening in my case right now.
Okay. But what they can't do is manufacture a charge, like, for example, drug trafficking, okay? They can't just manufacture it because they suspect that because you're Mexican or from a certain part of Mexico that you're part of a cartel, okay? And that only happens in the movies, man. That just doesn't happen.
It's happening to me now.
But you aren't charged with drug trafficking. You aren't charged with RICO.
There is a statement on my file that says I am a Sinaloa cartel member. So they're trying I'm being on ankle bracelet and home confinement because of this.
You would have been anyway because of felony domestic violence.
No, but see, the lawyers are telling me something different, and this is again why I need to talk to somebody that can give me insight, because my lawyers what I'm telling you, my lawyers have been telling me. You know what I mean? They, like, word by word, what I'm saying to you, that I'm being discriminated against, that they think I'm a cartel member, so they're going to push my bond to the sky, that they're going to make sure that I go to jail. These are my lawyers' words. And I'm like, what are we doing about it on my side? They're like, nothing.
They're afraid of a flight risk is what they're saying.
Man, I have no idea, man, Tom. I really have no idea. I really have had like minimal help with this.
James, I want to ask something straight up. If you have a consultation with an attorney and they say, James, I think I can help you. This is not right. We got to put an end to this. We got to do this. Let's just face the domestic. Let's see what we can do. I mean, what are you going to do about it if you can't hire them anyway?
I don't know, Tom. I mean, I would. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just like, my back is literally against the wall. I have been in jail since last year. Just got out in October and still can't go to work. Like, so I have no idea
How are
what
you
to do, man.
How are you supporting yourself?
Exactly my point. Exactly my
Well,
point.
how have you been? How have you been supporting yourself?
I stay with my mom. Like, they took my cars, they took my apartment, they took all my stuff. Like, I stay with my mom now. I sleep on her floor because I can't even go to work.
Now,
I can't support myself.
You're saying that the victim's sister and brother-in-law are police officers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you think they're coaching her?
No. She's not even trying to. She's not even been part of the trial. The only thing that's been part is like she's good friends. Her sister's friends with the prosecution. She used to be a probation officer in the same courtroom.
Okay.
So she knows, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get it.
She got them to push my bond so high, man. Like, that I had to file a motion that says that they violated my constitutional rights. And after they found out, after they approved the motion, they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. We violated your rights. So let's just drop your bond to $100,000.
Okay. So listen. It is possible when people have friends who are victims or relatives and they know the prosecution or they know the case, they'll say, hey, man, look at this guy's going to come across as a really nice guy, but he's really evil and he has family in Mexico and they decapitate people and they deal in drugs. And I mean, that's not uncommon for people to talk and to be like, well, they can't actually charge you with stuff. They can just talk. And so that's why you do need a good attorney. And you're going to have to figure out a way to pay a good attorney. But at least what we'll do is get you a consultation so they can at least clear up exactly what you're being charged with and what you're not being charged with, okay? But, man, let me just say something. Felony domestic is serious. It's serious, okay? It's a serious thing. Look, at misdemeanor domestic isn't a walk in the park, but it's not felony. Okay, and I don't get it, man. And like you said, you want to take responsibility, you want to move on, but you may not be able to without jail time. You may not be able to. I don't know. You got to talk to Joe. So, Suze, hook him up with Joe so he can call him at least and talk to him and have a meeting. 303-713-8255. Steve says he wants to thank me. What do you want to thank me for, Steve?
Well, I got a call from the GM of Colorado Springs, Tyler Austin, right minutes after apparently Marty may have called him, or the GM, or the president.
The president was on the show. Did you hear him?
No, I did not.
He said, if you're looking for your deductible, that's reasonable. They couldn't handle the whole claim, but they'd be glad to cover your deductible. However, he also, and I told him you had the two, the $500 and the $2,500. Then he said he'd be happy and honored if you give them a chance to maybe replace that and to give you a screaming deal. Again, I told him, you know, we're not looking for shuck and jive where they mark up the price to mark it down. He didn't sound like that kind of guy. He sounded genuinely concerned and that he wanted to work with you. So if I were you, and I think Sue's got the number, you can call this president. Did you get the number for the president of that place? He said he'd want to talk to you directly. He says he's the president, has 4 dealerships in Colorado.
Yes, sir.
So what did the manager, what did Tyler Austin, the GM, say to you?
Well, he didn't think that I gave him enough time.
Okay.
And he was trying to get it resolved, which I said they didn't have any sense of urgency. If he would have told the owner or whoever that guy was sooner, I think this could have got resolved in a day or two, maybe.
Steve, that general manager, you told me he said they're not responsible. Did he really say that, or did he say I'm working on it?
Well, he never said he was not responsible.
Well, that's what that's what you told us directly. I have your notes right here. You said when you talked to Tyler Austin, he said they're not responsible for the theft.
Well, he did say they're not responsible for the theft.
Right, that's right.
No control over that.
Right.
That's not what I was talking about.
Okay.
I agree with that. They're not responsible for the theft.
And I said, are they going to do anything for you? And you said, no. And I said, well, they should do something for you. So for him to say you didn't give him enough time to do what? If you're going to do nothing, nothing today is the same as nothing next week. So listen, all I'm happy about is that this owner cared enough to call us, or this president cared enough to call us directly.
Near historical low mortgage rates.
Buy a new home. Go with a lender you can count on for competitive rates, low fees, over 300 loan products, and thousands of loan consultants to help make sure you get the home you want. Call now for your no-obligation free approval. 866-888-LOAN. 866-888-LOAN. Or go to LoanDepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com is one of the experts that we have.
We send people to. They get free information, free legal advice if they call them. And it's all about wills, estates, estate planning, trusts, avoiding probate or facing probate, and what you can do in between. If you've not revisited your estate plan for years, maybe it's time to freshen it up. Get a hold of Blake Harris and ask all of your questions. He's our expert, and he'll be yours too. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. If you're looking for floors, what do you want in floor coverings? Well, you want selection. And Simply Floors, Inc. has quite a selection, a giant selection of carpeting in all price ranges. Also, LVT of all kinds, and wood floors, hardwoods, laminates, engineered floors. SimplyFloorsInc.com. When you talk to them, they will provide you a design consultant free of charge to help you pick the right product and put it in the right place and coordinate it into your project. You also have better installers, great financing, and they'll come to you. Make your own appointment at SimplyFloorsInc.com. Ideal Home Loans. For your next ideal home loan is not just a slogan. It's something that I can vouch for, that I've been watching them do for years and years. They take people and custom loans for their best situation. Some people have to take cash out to pay off high-interest debt. Other people just want to lower their payment or shorten their term. You never have to go back to 15 or 30 years. You can pick whatever term you want. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000. One of the things they have that I love is credit optimization. Even though you're approved, they still go in and do what they can to improve your credit even more, legally, ethically, and quickly, to get you better pricing. And don't forget, the interest rate guarantee will get you refinanced free of charge if rates go down, so you won't miss the boat. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
Did you know nearly 1 million knee replacements were done in 2017, and that number is expected to reach 2.6 million in 2030? Hi, I'm Dr. Allen with Restore Osteo Colorado. At RestoreOsteo.com, discover our unique Health and Knee protocol, an alternative approach to improving health.
Mark, what are these judgments telling you about it?
Deschutes Bank and State of Colorado taxes.
What's Shoots Bank for?
No idea.
How much? A judgment?
They're just judgments. The trials are done and over there, and they're unsatisfactory. They range from $500 to like $14,000.
Oh, not 500,000. 14,000 is the highest. Okay, I'll talk to you about it.
But they're all, the majority are Colorado.
How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Colorado, 1 Deschutes.
6 judgments. Unsatisfied.
Unsatisfied.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
One as early as last year, some older.
All right.
This one's 127.21 for $7,000. Colorado Department of Revenue.
So some of it are taxes and some of it are what?
5 of them are Department of Revenue. One is Deschutes Bank. And I don't know about his Texas shit because I can't confirm it's him, but there might be more there.
Okay.
Just a heads up, bro.
Okay, well, I might, if I don't get good answers, then I might amend that whole thing.
I don't understand why like a $500 judgment to the state's not paid.
Any judgment to the state, just fix it. You know, if it's not legit, fix it.
Yeah, it's true. Fix it. Either way. Pay it or fix
CPA to
it.
write a letter and take care of it. Because Department of Revenue is actually pretty good to work with, if there's a discrepancy, they get all over it.
Yeah. Okay, several unsatisfied judgments from the state of Colorado.
Yeah. And once again, we're not 100% sure it's him, but it,
okay, and
sure.
I don't know. And
there was a couple things in Texas, but
the bank.
They're too broad.
Plus,
they're not even. Just put possibly something from Texas.
Possibly. Some what? Judgments?
Yeah. Do you know if he's from Texas?
No.
It's tax season.
I'll just say, I'll ask him. He's not
a college savings account with College Invest. Not only will you be saving for college, you can earn a Colorado income tax deduction for 2022. Start saving today at collegeinvest.org. 630 KM.
Oh. It's bad when fans are starting to feel bad for the Lakers. Should I enjoy it so much when I know how to do it?
Hi, Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Luther, you have an issue with a mechanic. And by the way, speaking of mechanics and all that other stuff, when we were talking about emissions earlier, you wanted to clear that up. Rodney at JFR Cars, you wanted to clear something up about classic cars.
Yeah.
And hold on, Luther, you're with us here too. Go ahead, Rodney.
Yeah.
Okay.
The classic cars starts at 1975, and from that time back, you have to get a classic car license plate. And once you get a classic car license plate, you at that time do not have to get an emission because the classic car license plate will last you 5 years.
You don't have to get one, do you?
You don't have to, but you have to do an emission thereafter every year.
If you don't get one.
If you don't get one.
If you get one, you're good for 5 years.
5 years. And you don't have to get one at that point. You're just going to get an inspection because it's already been noted as a classic car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then do you ever get another one? Another emissions or not?
No.
Oh, just one? So really, you get so if you get a classic tag, you're good.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Luther, what's happening?
Hey, Mr. Martino, thanks for taking my call.
What's going on, man?
Mr. Martino, I'm dealing with a Jeep Liberty price problem. I've taken my Jeep Liberty in to get it checked out.
Yes.
At one mechanic, and they stated that I may have a transmission problem, but I do need to get the sensors put on to remove the lights off the dashboard. And they said
wait, you have to get what done to remove the lights?
Yeah, like sensors.
Oh, okay, got it. So you have a bad sensor, Kevin? Is that what they're saying, or?
Well, they may be saying it's going into limp mode, so it's not shifting properly. So they need to fix the limp mode first before they can condemn or not the transmission.
How many miles on your Jeep Liberty?
It's around about like 72, 73.
Not bad.
1,000 miles.
Yeah.
I think no more than 76. I think.
Okay, not bad. So anyway, what?
I had about 10 years.
Okay. So anyway,
so
what is your question?
So, I taken it in to the guy to get it fixed because he said, well, hey, I already have that transmission, so you give me $1,250, I take care, no problem.
Wait a minute, Luther. Luther, wait a minute. $1,250, $1,250.
Yes.
And why did he say for what?
for the because he already had the transmission that fitted that year of the Jeep.
Yeah, but what makes you may not need a whole transmission.
Correct, and I explained that to him. So I gave him the printout, which I had already paid $60 for. So he said, "Well, hey, we'll still here. I can go ahead on and address that." So I said, "Well, okay, that's pretty reasonable. You know, if you consider I'm saving at least about $2,000 because I think what the guy told me I was going to be around about $3,200 to do that full service before. So if he was going to charge me like $1,200,
Luther,
yes,
$3,200 for what kind of service would you be paying for that?
That's what this guy was talking about, putting in a brand new transmission. Like I say, it didn't seem right to me for an older Jeep. You know,
you need a second opinion.
Listen, Luther, he got a second opinion,
you know,
and here's the thing: the first opinion told him $3,200, the second opinion told him $1,200. Luther, I want to know why do you think you need a new transmission to begin with only 74,000 miles?
Well, me personally, I didn't know what was going on because it seemed like every time the Jeep got up to like 35 miles per hour, it would start skipping as if it wasn't getting gas. But me, I was up on the impression that maybe it might have needed something like a gas fuse or something, a gas filter.
So Luther, tell me something. Did you already spend the $1,200 with this guy?
No, sir. I unfortunately, I gave him $620.
What is he doing now?
He done had my car about 5 or 6 months. And the car's sitting out there on flats and everything, and it looked like people messing with it. So I asked him, I said, well, maybe we need to depart because each and every time I come, you know, it done went from, it wasn't the right transmission, then they got to bring the right one, then it always was a story.
Right, so when was the last time you talked to him?
I went and talked to him today, Mr. Martino.
Okay, and what does he say? What do you want to do as a result?
He said that he put in a new transmission and everything, but I need a new engine and stuff.
What?
I said, well, look, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think he's
I said, well, hey, look, because I was getting kind of upset, and then I had to check myself because I said, well, hey, you're not going to accomplish nothing like that. So he telling me to call the police and everything like that. And the police asking me, was any weapons or anything involved? I'm saying no. And they saying, well, it's a civil case. And I said, well, I don't know exactly how to deal with this situation because the guy is not, you know, he's
Luther, is your car running?
It's on the side of the road. Yeah, it was wrong.
Okay.
And I even told him, I said, well, look, let's call it even. Give me my keys and let me take my car and I go on by my business. And he said, no, he want me to pay him for some service. I said, man,
how much more,
running.
Luther?
How much? He want me to pay him, I guess the $650 or whatever. I don't know. But he's saying that besides the transmission that I need to pay him more because the car needs engine work.
Luther, how much to just get your car to there? How much does he want?
He didn't say. He said that this is what he told me. I asked him. I said, "Well, hey, you know, we need to depart on this."
Right. And what did he say?
And he said that I need to pay him for the. He said that I need to pay him for the service that he's already done, and I said, I'm not going to pay you for something that is not fixed. You told me that it was this and it's not fixed. So he said that he take it out there to the emission and it won't pass emission. Every time it get up to 35 miles per hour or something like that, it starts skipping. I said, that's what it was doing before. And then I said, well, look here. Why don't you go ahead on and write out everything that you done to the car? And then I take it to a mechanic and we'll address it from there. Then he said, no, I need to pay him for a new engine and everything. I said, well, hey, man, I'm not going to get off
this is ridiculous, Luther. This guy needs...
And I talked to a friend, and my friend told me, he said, no, He said, you call Tom Martino.
Okay.
He said, man, he going to knock that out.
Now,
he said, man, because I don't know what to do.
Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to figure out what he really did to your car and what he didn't do. Where is this guy located? What's the name of the shop?
The name of the shop is Dayton Auto Repair in Aurora, Colorado.
Okay, and who is the guy in charge?
His name is, I think it's now Marlowe. M-A-R-L-O-W or L-O-V or something like that.
Marlowe, okay. All right.
And he gave me two telephone numbers.
Hold on. We're going to take this off the air. What I think you ought to do, Luther, we need to verify what work he did or what he didn't do.
Right.
And
correct.
Now you may have to get one of our experts. I'll ask him to give you a deal to go out and just check but it's not going to be like expensive, but he's going to have to go out and check what was actually done, okay? And Suze, I want to give Luther, first of all, I want to get Dayton's number in a minute, but Luther, I want to get SOS Inspections to go out to that garage and verify what was done. Okay, if he would give him a good price, you talk to Norris is our guy, Luther, and then give me that number for Marlowe.
Okay. He got two different numbers now.
Yeah.
The first number is 720-855-5550.
Okay.
The second number is 303.
Yeah.
931-1785.
Okay.
These are the numbers that he have on the board on his sign outside.
All right, hold on. Suze is going to talk to you. We're going to try to put you in touch with someone.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is...
Their website says they're a body shop. Oh, wow. Yeah, we don't even talk about mechanical.
It doesn't even. It's, you have 2351 Dayton?
Yeah.
It's weird. You go look at the pictures, I have no idea what it is.
The only thing they talk about on Facebook is body shop. We offer good auto body service for a great price. No job too big or too small to fix any scratches, collision, custom paint. They do not mention anything about transmission, which is probably why they can't fix the guy's car, because they don't know how.
Don't most body shop have a tech guy?
Nah, weak one.
A weak one?
Yeah. Just basically an R&R type,
They send it out then with the mechanicals. They tear up the front.
Dispense and stuff like that. We do a lot of.
You know, I love talking about Century RV, especially on car day. You want to get great prices for RVs. You know that one guy that has toy hauler messed up? I'm sure you'll get a great deal at CenturyRV.com. That's up at exit 240 and I-25 north of Denver. You go north, take the exit 240, that's the one to Longmont. But instead of going to Longmont, you're going to take a right and go down Frontage Road right there, a quarter of a mile, CenturyRV.com. They're building a brand new facility up there, so pardon their dust while you save tons of money at 303-453-1111. I told you this before, and I'm going to warn you again because I just saw another one on Nextdoor yesterday, a ripoff of a restoration company. So here's what I'm telling you. If you want a trusted restoration company, then you want American Restoration. American Restoration is the company I recommend to everyone because the restoration industry sucks. But Rock and his team at American Restoration will work honestly with your insurance company, your public adjuster, with your contractors, and they can do as much of the contracting you want. They can do the cleanup. They can do the remediation of dangerous substances and toxic molds and drugs or whatever happened to your property, fire, flood, meth labs, unattended death. It doesn't matter, fire or fringe, soot, smoke, whatever. 8337-AMREST. That's their number. 8337-AMREST. You can call them 24/7. or amrest247.com. Welcome to Mikasa,
Oh
Catherine.
my, is that a Picasso?
No, don't touch
it's
it.
It's covering a hole in your wall.
Yeah, I had leaks, but the plumber who repiped doesn't do drywall.
It doesn't?
Mm-mm.
Repipe specialists would have repiped and offered to fix the holes in your walls.
Got leaks? Repipe specialists will repipe your house in 1 or 2 days and offer to fix the drywall. Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910 or visit repipe.com.
Children's Hospital Colorado Mighty Millions raffle is already 50% sold. You could win the $2.5 million grand prize show home, plus $800,000 in bonus cash. Awarded, fully furnished, professionally decorated, and landscaped. There are over 11,000 incredible prizes, including vehicles, vacations, season tickets, and more. Odds of winning are 1 in 15. Make a mighty difference for patients and families at Children's Hospital Colorado. Hurry, already 50% sold. Buy your tickets today at MightyMillionsRaffle.com.
Two things happen when you get a DUI. A criminal charge and a civil proceeding against your license. Get an experienced, aggressive attorney who can help you in both areas. Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Everyone knows drinking and driving is against the law and extremely dangerous. If you've been drinking, you could easily make the bad decision to get behind the wheel, a decision that could be fatal. If you're going out to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and plan on drinking, keep yourself and others safe by planning a sober ride home. Whether it's a taxi, rideshare, sober designated driver, or having a trusted friend on call, planning for a sober ride home is the smart and safe thing to do. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fairway Collision Center is a family-owned auto body shop that gives you quality workmanship at a fair, competitive price. Since 1994, neighbors have received great service, whether it's repairing a small dent or restoring your car. For more info, go to fairwaycollision.com.
New to CuriosityStream. Could a piece of Jesus' cross have survived for 2,000 years? Biblical relic or medieval forgery? A new investigation puts this potential holy fragment to the test on quest for the true cross. And python, viper, cobra. Asia has no shortage of snakes, but which one takes the crown for most lethal? Careful where you step. It's Asia's deadliest snakes. Watch now on CuriosityStream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6. Friday at 4. Let's talk morality. Is it immoral for Joe Biden to essentially feed Ukraine to Putin by not cutting off Russian oil exports? And would it be immoral, unethical, illegal for the U.S. to target Putin himself? Join me at 4. Hi, Tom Martino. Hey, Genesis Total Exteriors, by the way. They also do solar. GenesisSolarCO.com. GenesisSolarCO.com. And they do a great job. So, in addition to a home improvement company, GenesisSolarCO.com. Hey, Ernie, you have a question on what, sir? Ernie? Huh. Hey, Suze? What did Ernie want to know? And is it the Ernie that I know and love?
It is.
Okay.
We wanted to ask you about cataracts, and did you have cataracts, Tom?
No, but I got the surgery.
Oh, okay, and then doing special lenses after that?
Yeah, I'll go. Let me do this real quick. Cataract surgery is where they remove your lens because there are cataracts on it, and they put new lens on. Now, up till a few years ago, when you went in for cataracts, they would ask you, do you want your new lenses to be near or farsighted? Because that's all they could do. So if you got nearsighted ones, then you'd have to wear glasses for distance. Most elderly people, or most people with cataracts, would get long lenses. So you could see far away and medium just fine, but you needed readers for up close. Then came along the Symphony lens and the Crystal lens and a number of other lenses that had concentric circles and could focus. So depending on where you look, it's in focus. So it would be like having young eyes again. You didn't have to choose between close or far away. And I had it done, but I had it done and I didn't have cataracts. I simply had the new lenses put in, and they call that a clear lens exchange. Really, all it is cataract surgery, but you get the new focusable lenses. Now, you don't have to get it done if you don't want to. If you have cataracts, you get it done because you need to, and then you can have those lenses too. But there are a growing number of people getting it done who don't have cataracts, like me. My resulting vision was 2015, better than 2020. Now, since then, my vision, I think, has gotten a tiny bit worse, not because of that. I have some sinus issue, other things, but I can still read up to the tiniest of print. And when I get to that tiny stuff, I wear reader if I have to. And if it's a tiny vision in low light. But normally, I can see 99% of everything perfectly. So that's it, bottom line.
Do you avoid cataracts then in the future?
I can't get cataracts because I have artificial lenses now.
Okay.
So not only will I not get cataracts, but these lenses will never discolor, grow old, get out of focus, or will they're forever. They're silicon, I believe. So that they're forever lenses. So anyway, that's it. I have bionic eyes, basically. And do I recommend it? It's about $4,500 an eye. And that's up to you. Is it worth it to you? I can't say everyone's going to have perfect vision when they're done, but I've talked to people who had lesser results than me, but they still are happy they did it because their vision is still, 98% better. And they only need readers for tiny, tiny things. Yes.
What are any cons on that, though?
Well, there's always a risk to any surgery, right? Especially if you're taking out perfectly good lenses. So they do one eye at a time, and they wait in between to make sure there's no, you don't want to go blind. But, let's put it this way. Cataract surgery is one of the most common, least complicated of all surgeries ever. There are because that's all it really is a cataract surgery. The only con would be, or not disadvantage, but the only risk is that you may not. I lucked out with my vision. I mean, I don't think you could have had a better result. I really lucked out. Every once in a while, people might see me with these readers and, why do you have those, Tom? I don't know how to put this other than sometimes in the morning my eyes are dry and lazy. They're just, but that's a dryness problem. That's not a problem with the lenses. And again, it's only for very, very small print. Did you have something to leave?
I was going to say I got mine done 3 years ago.
Did you get the focusable lenses?
Yes.
Did you do it because of cataracts?
Tom, I was blind, man.
Wow.
I was driving around in the middle of the night and literally couldn't see 50 feet in front of my car. When I got,
So,
thinking
who did yours?
Dr. Coco. It's called Hindsight. Over.
Did they do so you did the cataract and you did the focusable lenses?
I did 2-level focus. They said for free I could have one distance and one close, and my brain would have to do it.
Yeah.
For a little bit more, I got a 2-level. So I got a 2-level. I see all the way out there, and anything that's this far away, anything that's closer, small, I got to get my readers on.
Okay, and then they have, of course, the ones I have. They call them infinite focusing. You can focus everywhere, but again, Results may vary.
The sky turned blue again is what it did, though. It went from gray to blue.
Now, impact traffic.
The focusing got me just as much as how every crystal
the colors and everything.
I didn't realize my eyes were getting old, and all of a sudden I'm seeing colors more vivid and shit.
I was driving around thinking that I was just having trouble in inclement weather. Finally, I went to go get some new glasses, and the doctor says,
"You got cataracts."
No, she said, "Well, we knew they were coming." Okay, but when I got there, she says, "Well, we're not going to give you glasses this time. We're just going to tell you you're going to get them fixed."
Now, let me ask you something. You got one at a time, though, right?
Yeah, one at a time. They were 2 weeks apart.
Mine were supposed to be 2 weeks apart, but I had a terrible time getting my eyes to focus, and then they snapped. So I waited 3 months before I did the other one. I thought I made a mistake, but then it came in
I
perfect.
can see that. You run in and get it done, you can't see on the other, right?
They did both of mine, and then this side, my left side, started acting up and put me on steroids for a while, but it cleaned up.
I cannot
tell you enough about Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado and how important it is to have them on your side. When it comes to insurance claims of any kind against your property, your home, your business, you need a public adjuster on your side. They work on contingency, only a small commission on what they collect for you, and they always collect more. Don't trust your insurance company. And I don't care who I'm telling this to. Don't trust your insurance company, not with their adjusters. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. The website is coclaims.com. You can reopen claims that were just closed up to 2 to 3 years if you don't think you were treated fairly, or for any new insurance claim, whether it be the fires, direct damage, fringe damage with soot, smoke, smells, or any kind of insurance, hail, wind, mold, pipe breaks. coclaims.com. Get them on your side. coclaims.com, 720-715-0000. 720-715-0000. You know, a lot of people, they're looking for loans, but they're waiting because they don't know what the interest rates are doing. That's the worst thing you can do because they're lower now than they've been in a long time. And you'll never miss the boat with Ideal Home Loans. Get on board right now and get the interest rate guarantee. If you close with Ideal Home Loans, guess what? If rates go down over the next 2 years, you get refinance free of charge. So there you go. There's no reason to wait. Here's another thing. If you have a loan package with someone else being evaluated and they're dilly-dallying and you're getting a little tired of waiting and they're asking you for the same stuff over and over, you may want to have that whole entire loan package examined by Ideal Home Loans. You know, you're not tied to that existing lender until you close. You can have someone else look at it, and Ideal will be honest if you have a great deal or not, or if they can do better, and it's free. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home loan or a second opinion. 303-867-7000. 867-7000. The Art of Granite. Mitch Floria. I've been doing business and sending people to him for many years, and people love him. The way he does business is very simple. You can call right now and get a price on the phone. For your natural stone or man-made countertops, he does it all. And he tears out and hauls away free, does the bathroom vanity free when you do the kitchen, and he will make sure that you have a job you love. TheArtOfGranite.com. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919.
Finding great camp.
So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack. See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality interview the first day.
And my better than plain lenses, but not top of the line, cost me about $2 grand each.
Wait, that's above though what Medicare pays.
Yeah, well, no, Medicare, like I said, Medicare would have replaced them with just the.
That's right. So the $2,000 was on top of that.
The $4,000, two for each one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It was on top of that.
Yeah. So mine, I didn't do Medicare. I should have waited, but I did. If Medicare would have paid for the same thing, I would have had to pay the upcharge. And the upcharge wasn't. I don't recall it being $2,000. I don't know. It wasn't going to be that
different lens. It's not a different procedure.
It's the exact same procedure. I would not have spent a dime if I had accepted the lenses that
I
were
know.
given.
No one does when it comes
but
to.
But then I wanted that better lens, and he made my choice of 3, and I'm like.
Is that significantly better than the far and the near, like one in each eye? Cause
I don't monovision.
Monovision. I think it's significantly better.
So fuck it. Because each one of my eyes can focus near or far.
Oh, I got you.
Each one doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't have. Both my eyes are equal. And again,
how long have you had yours? At least a couple of years.
Oh, more than that.
I've had mine
4 years.
You probably got yours maybe a year or so before I did.
5 years, maybe.
Wow. Oh, okay.
I've had it a while.
I mean, the sky can't be blue.
I think.
I still remember my son. We didn't realize he was nearsighted.
Oh wait, I was with Stephanie.
He got glasses. The whole way home, he's just, looking at trees, looking at the sky, he was fascinated. Like, oh, my son, we didn't realize his eyesight was so bad. He couldn't see far. Well, we didn't know, so he finally, 4 years old, I guess, finally went in, something was going on in school. And just watching his face when we're driving home, seeing the trees for the first time.
Let's talk to Theodore. Theodore, what's happening?
Hey, I was just sitting here, and I was victimized and vandalized. Somebody broke into my office and home last night. It's been a series of events.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible. What happened? Do you have insurance?
Yeah, I have insurance. So I'm not worried about all that. The reason I'm calling is I have recently been diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver, and in September, I was put on medical leave from my company. Due to the medical leave, my history I'm not being able to get paid because all of my documents and files and HIPAA forms and visits to the doctors have been erased. So I've been a victim of cyber hacking and actual robbing. People have broken into my home, and they've taken all of my documentation for my person, my ID, my passport, all of my banking information, accounts, my assets.
Theodore, when did they break into your home?
Last night. I just reported it last night.
Did the police take a report?
Yeah, they took a report last night, but they also took a report for the first initial break-in. I was at a gas station, and somebody had broken into my vehicle, and they stole my phone and my wallet.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on, because I don't want you to run out of time. Suze, we need to get him back on and see what we can do for him. I'm Tom Martino.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino.
And stay connected with all of us
at 630 KHOW.
KHOW.com.
And on the